There we go. Now we're recording.
Yeah, the Colt. No.
That sounds even more suspicious. You just go, Nicole. Oh, nope, never mind.
Nope.
So first things first, Nicole. Whenever you decide to come back early, late, whenever your spot's here, we love you. Come back whenever you want to. All right.
Exactly what I was going to say.
Exactly right. I knew it.
Sure. Yeah.
Before we get going, I need everybody to give me your character's passive perception, so I have it written down.
Ooh.
Thomas.
Oh, damn it, Brian. 12.
Thank you.
I don't do wisdom good.
Aaron.
I'm trying to find it. I forget where you find passive.
It's right underneath your skills.
It's just whatever your perception is plus 10.
13.
Okay. Marcus.
16.
16. And Jason.
Wow, he had to go and upstage me. 15.
So, FYI, I will be attempting to use passive perception as intended, as in, unless you're explicitly looking for something, I probably won't ask you to make a perception check because that's what passive perception is. So, I will.
Damn! I need to play Lucius again.
I need to be attempting to use that as best as I can. So be aware. Secondly, as I mentioned before, but just to reiterate, there are I would say 90% of this campaign adventure, I don't think we'll have any kind of issue with this, but there are a couple areas that get a little graphic, maybe a little depressing. If any of those things are past your threshold, all you got to do is say as much, and we'll blow past it because the point is not to be uncomfortable.
Sure.
We want to push the limit of the emotional role playing and bad guys being bad and tragedies being tragedies, but nobody should ever be uncomfortable in what's happening. So if you are, speak up and we will adjust. It's a no judgment zone. So there's there. And I think that's pretty much it.
Did you watch that video I sent about the stealth rules?
I did not. I certainly did not have time to. But is it okay? Well, did you DM it to me or no?
I put it in the Kuros chat or one of the chats.
Stealth rules, that one?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I will put it in my personal server under D&D, so that means when I look through it, we'll watch it at some point.
Where did you get the idea to do a personal server?
I also sent you a video about how gunpowder and fireworks work.
I did see that as well too. Yep. And
okay.
if I get the chance, I will do that.
Jay sent me some messages that I forgot to reply to. I'm sorry, Jay.
That's okay.
I've been distracted.
FYI, if these videos are longer than 15 minutes, that's probably my attention span. I loathe long YouTube videos. I need to. See, this one's 19 minutes. That's really pushing it.
Well, just put it on 1.5 times speed, and then it's like a 12-minute video.
There you go. This one's 6 minutes. That one's perfect. All right.
The one about firearms kind of goes into more detail than is necessary in some instances.
That's why it's 19 minutes.
Right. The key takeaways are that one of the gods, I don't remember which one it was, basically made gunpowder inert, and they have a thing that they use now called, I think it's smoke powder.
Yep.
That has to be blessed by clerics of this such and such church, and anti-magic zone, anti-magic field, like the eye ray from a beholder that makes magic not work, will render it inert while it is in that field.
Excellent.
So
nerfed Grin.
I mean,
well,
look.
Hypothetically, but it might make sense for a ship that has cannons to have like a little anti-magic field generator around their gunpowder, because then the risk of your ship just exploding because the gunpowder ignited or the smoke powder is non-existent.
Yeah, I mean, on the one hand, Forgotten Realms is generally high fantasy, so there will be limited gunpowder, just because that is my personal flavor for this setting. But on the other hand, it is pirates, so you can't not have some guns and some cannons because
Pirates.
it's pirates, right? So we're gonna find that happy medium between them.
Okay.
So I would say it's gonna be rare, but not unheard of. And I think in a way that would make it special. The first ship you run across that shoots cannons at you, hopefully should be in a moment,
Well, maybe we can capture that ship and take it as our own, and then have cannons.
Absolutely, all the above. All the above are true. All right. Anything else before we get going?
I'm
sweet music.
I'm gonna type up a backstory and send it to you probably this week, more in depth than.
You didn't make a backstory.
It can't be more in depth than Marcus's.
I one
know what you're
time
talking about.
gave my DM a 12. I one time gave my DM a 12-page backstory.
That would fall under the same category as over.
I will not do
15-minute
that
video.
to you. I will not
Marcus
do
sent
that.
me a 3.
Marcus did a crazy long one for Marcus did about the same for Rogar.
It was good though. It was very well
Yeah.
written and totally coherent and make total sense. It's great.
You need to get your commitment up, everyone who's not Marcus.
Well, and not just that. What I
Yes,
appreciated it.
Calling
Including me.
yourself out.
What I
I don't
appreciated.
think
Fuck,
you
I'm one of you now. Damn it.
I don't send you enough messages during the week. You're right. I need to pump up those rookie numbers.
Oh God, what did you do, Thomas?
I need to hear about more downtime activities that DeClorin's working on.
I've been hearing about spells he's been making.
Yeah, he's making
The-
spells.
I've
The
been
best part of-
seeking reviews. Yes.
The best part about Marcus's backstory, honestly, isn't even the backstory and the detail that went into it, which is all excellent. It's how many threads he actually leaves dangling in the middle of his backstory, which is awesome. That is my favorite part because then I read it and I'm like, yeah, we could do something with that, and yeah, we can do something with that. It's good times.
Oh,
Get
yeah.
the creative juices flowing,
A proper D&D backstory has plenty of levers for
That's
the DM
right.
to
You
pull.
want a detail, but also open-endedness
Mhm.
and unanswered questions, if you will. All right, let me find. Oh, where is it? Oh, because I'm like, why can't I find my music? And then I realize I have my own channel or a separate channel for this one. Right? Oh, I didn't. Never mind. I know where I put it. I solicited Jeremy's opinion on some music, and that's where it is.
Mhm.
Right. Yes.
God, my spell saves are only 13 right now.
Oh my
Feels
God.
bad.
So let me tell you, when I'm prepping, I'm like, this should be a pushover. No, they're first level. They're first level. If I kill you all, I swear it wasn't intentional.
If you kill us all, is it a retcon?
We'll find out, won't we? And then you all wake up. It was all a dream.
It was just a terrible collective dream that you were all having together at the same time.
Even though none of you know each other. So weird.
You're like, oh fuck, I need to make a new big bad that's a guy that's like the dreamscape nightmare, and he's the new big bad.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to Forgotten Realms. The year is 1497, Dale Reckoning. We are on the Sword Coast in the city of Neverwinter. Decades of disasters, invasions, evil plots have crippled the once prosperous city of Neverwinter. However, over the last few years, it's finally seemed to regain some of its previous vitality. It avoided much of the fallout from the disaster at El Turel just 5 years ago. The city is mostly rebuilt, prosperous, bustling, and influential once more. One of the players in the Lord's Alliance, Neverwinter, has resumed its position as one of the preeminent cities on the Sword Coast. Neverwinter, famously friendly to and reliant upon adventurers, and this continues to remain to be true today. On this 10th of Altaric, what we know as February, as winter stubbornly clings to this land, each of you, for various reasons, has responded to a post on Neverwinter's famous job board. You met with a bored, if overworked, middle-aged city official named Joseph Frey. He explains to you the job is to investigate a wreck on the island of Gundabarg as requested by King Olgrave Red Axe. I want all 4 of you to make either a persuasion or insight check, whichever you prefer.
Mm.
Boom. That's a good first roll of the campaign.
Absolutely. It's all downhill from here.
No kidding.
We got to get Marcus to, for some reason, see if you can fix your settings to not whisper it.
Changed it.
So those of you with a 12 or above, so everybody but Balthazar,
Balazar.
you either
There's no T.
you're right, Balazar. You're correct, Balazar. You either convince him to relay to you a little bit more information, or you kind of suss out through your insight that Master Frey believes this whole thing is basically a waste of time, and Neverwinter is bound by treaty to respond to a call from help from a fellow member of the Lord's Alliance, which Gundabarg is. So as a result, they're basically sending the first few people over there that replied to the post, and that is you. You are to meet a Northman named Store at the Beached Leviathan Tavern tonight in Neverwinter. And that is where we will start. I need, if I remember correctly, no, this is right. So Leodell and Baldrum know each other, and Maxim. Okay, so I need, let's have Marcus, a new campaign hype indeed. Marcus, we'll check your settings here on rolling. Go ahead and roll a D2 for me, please. Excellent. So
We both have Bal at the start of our name, Thomas.
Because we're brothers.
brothers
Right,
from another mother.
But we don't know each other. And
It's the long lost tuck. We were separated at birth.
are you a human?
You'll
You don't
find
know
out
what I am.
shortly.
You don't know what I am.
Nobody knows what he is. All right,
Hashtag
so let's
connected
see.
by bowels.
That's right.
You look like a dwarf.
So, Baldrum and Leodell. We got to set the stage here. Can't have it be nothing going on here. Excellent. All right, so we are inside the Beached Leviathan. So it would be Max and Balazar. You are approaching the Beached Leviathan at the appointed time from the outside. The sun is just starting to go down, and the Beached Leviathan is a 3-story tavern that is the recovered wreck of a pirate ship called the Leviathan, and they converted it into a very popular dockside cavern that is both famous and popular with the crews of the various ships that go to and fro the city of Neverwinter.
Is it? Does it look like a kind of rough clientele, or is it pretty?
I mean, mostly sailors, so I think I would say yes.
Right, but not necessarily unfriendly. Okay.
No, but a little rough and tumble.
Working men.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So are we inside? Are we outside?
You guys are outside, staring at the upside down ship turned tavern.
Interesting place we got here.
It is strange. Shall we go in?
Aye, let's.
You open the doors to the beached Leviathan. It is crowded, not quite bustling or overflowing yet, as the sun is still up. But there is ale and various types of booze flowing, being served all around. Very clearly, basically everybody in here is either works here or is a crew member of one of the ships currently docked here in Neverwinter. Off to the side, but not in the corner, because I know we're meeting in a tavern in session 1, but we're not meeting in a corner of a tavern in session 1. But it is a table off to the side, a
There's
large
a dog in here.
round table. Yep, there is a beached Leviathan dog. You see a table that has 4 people at it. Actually, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people actually at it, including a man who meets the description of the person that you were supposed to meet.
Gonna point him out and say, "Hey, you think that's him?"
Balazar will just shrug and be kind of still taking in the atmosphere. He might look a little bit uncomfortable.
Max would also be looking a little uncomfortable as well. Should we go up and talk to him?
Balthazar will shrug again.
I messed up your pronunciation of your own character's name.
I did. Yeah. just he's new.
I'm new with this, okay?
First day on the job.
That's right.
So you're gonna make me talk to him, aren't you?
Balazar will nod.
The two of you approach the table, and there are 5 figures there. One of which is the person who you believe is the man you're supposed to be meeting. It is a kind of a human male, kind of burly, with long blonde, almost white hair. His beard is braided into 3, or I should say tied into 3, with one kind of braid off to the side, almost dwarven-esque in his hair accoutrements. He's clearly weathered. He's wearing a kind of a fur-ish cloak over a chain shirt. You can see a great axe kind of propped up against the side of the booth. You believe this is the man you were supposed to meet. His name, if it is Store Hornraven. Sitting next to him is a human woman in a basically an officer's style sailor's jacket with a black tricorner hat on and kind of weather-beaten, greasy hair. There's also a kind of a half-elf with dark hair and a goatee and studded leather. And then Jason, describe your character, please.
All right, you see a medium height young elf, kind of darker, like a darker off-white hue to her skin, kind of similar to what you would expect to see in a wood elf. Long,
kind
particularly
of copper
long,
or olive.
Yeah, particularly long ears, even for an elf. And the first thing you would notice is, as hard as it is typically to figure out elven age, you don't see any wrinkles, so you would assume that this is a fairly young elf. Looks as you look at her armor, you would see it looks hand stitched, as if it was personally made and fits quite well to her frame. And probably the first thing you would notice on her person is a large cylindrical container that she has strapped to her back. That it looks glass in make, and then it looks like it has some sort of padding on the inside, which is all you can see within the cylinder.
And next to her is Thomas. Describe your character, please.
Sure. Kind of a sandy orange-haired dwarf. Kind of a buzz cut on the sides, but a light kind of tuft of hair over the top. A smaller dwarf. Short beard on the sides, but kind of long once it reaches the chin and is braided down in front of him. Kind of a jacket that's a little too small for him, thrown over what looks like a chain shirt. His arms kind of exposed, kind of deeply tan, and then covered in these like Hawaiian Islander tribal tattoos all the way up down his arms, up to his neck, of like sea patterns and turtles and waves in the sun and things like that. And he's got kind of deep yellow eyes.
And Baldrum and Leodell, you see Marcus. Describe your character, please.
I look just like the other half elf with instudded leather, but my hair is white. No, I am half elf, instudded leather. My hair is like silver white. My skin is probably a little lighter than a normal human would have. You'll also notice that my right eye is deep yellow, my left eye is deep green color. And you'll see a bow and arrows hanging on my back.
And with him is Aaron.
Balazar is a dragonborn. Kind of has a yellowish orange tint to his skin, but around his horns and the underside of his jaw, there's little bits of what look like topaz crystals. He is a gem dragonborn. So if any of you would ever have seen a gem dragonborn, and little bits on like his elbows and stuff like that, but you can't see those because he's wearing decent but weathered clothing that look kind of almost like scholars' robes, but also a bit more rugged than that, as would be suited for travel. And he's a bit slight for a dragonborn. He's a little shorter and a little bit narrower in build than dragonborn usually are.
So as the two of you approach the table,
Can I say one more thing? I forgot about my description.
Yeah.
The other thing about my guy is that you'll notice that there are a few scars on his face, mainly two bigger ones that go from the top right down to the bottom left of his face, and then top left and down to the bottom right of his face as well. And they look like they're only like that they haven't been there for that long as well.
Are they symmetrical?
Not quite.
Okay.
So as the two of you approach the table, the weathered man with the white beard kind of sees you approach, and in a kind of a deep voice, he unrolls a paper and he goes, Balthazar Kriv and Maximilian Woods. Yes?
Balazar.
Right. Did I not say that?
No.
You can just call him Bally.
No.
Well, join us. And he kind of
cannot
quickly
call me Bally.
And he quickly goes
Sure.
through the people at the table. He says, "This is Leodel, Baldrum," pointing to the young half-elf, and then the dwarf. And then he points to the woman in the officer's jacket and the tricorner hat. He says, "This is Captain Greysail." And then to the other half-elf at the table with the dark hair and the goatee. And he says, "This is Cora. The five of you," and he points to Cora and the four of you. He says, and as they all kind of scooch over so you guys can make room at the table for now the seven of you, have accepted a job from the city of Neverwinter to respond to help from my king, Red X, to investigate a crash on Galdrum, and this is Captain Greysail. Her ship, the Voyage, will be leaving tomorrow. It will take us all back there. And he says, "That's pretty much it. Any questions?"
How long will it take to get there?
He kind of looks at Captain Greysail, and she says, "Well, with good wind, about 3 days, maybe 4. Depends on the weather, of course."
All right, thank you.
Are you anticipating any trouble?
Well, I mean, as you all have heard, I'm sure the level of pirate activity in the recent weeks has been just abnormally high, so pirates are always a danger. But it is a pretty quick trip, so with any luck, the Voyage is a fairly swift vessel, hopefully. We get this over with quickly.
Don't have to worry about the pirates when I'm here. Call me Pirate Hunter Max.
You are not being called this ever.
Why not? You won't let me call you Bally? You won't let other people call me Pirate Hunter Max?
That's not my choice. They do not say this.
Fine. Just regular old Max.
There is very little admirable about being a pirate. There's even less admirability in claiming to hunt them. Pirates are just less functional thugs. Couldn't hack it on land.
Thor kind of clears his throat and he goes, "Well, at the conclusion of the investigation, if King Red Axe determines that you have met the requirements of the investigation, the pay is 50 gold pieces per, plus trip, room and board, food, lodging on the way, of course. Normally we would, we Northmen handle our own business, but due to the increased activity of the pirates, nearly all of the longships of Gundalarin are currently out on the ocean trying to deal with that menace. We have a King's Fleet, of course, almost 200 longships, and they're almost all out, so we're kind of a skeleton crew back at home, if you will. Apparently the ship crashed. There were survivors. They apparently killed some of the locals in the nearby fishing village and then disappeared, and that's pretty much it. That's what I know." "Well, all right then, don't drink too much. I guess we leave tomorrow." And
Tomorrow, then. And Baldrum just scoots a seat out and goes somewhere else.
Balazar is going to turn to Max and say something to him in Draconic.
Do I speak that?
all right, tell me.
Nope.
And as you're doing that, Captain Graysail and Store will get up and leave unless anybody stops them.
I will be looking to see if anyone reacts to what I say, just to see if they understood.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell that Leodale is interested in the language, but doesn't appear to understand it. Or maybe picks up a word or two, kind of like how someone who had taken high school Spanish would listen to people speaking Spanish.
Okay.
Baldrum would just scoot out and just say, Leodil, I'll be preparing for our venture in the morning. If you need anything, I'll be in the room.
Sounds good.
She kind of looks over at you two and goes, gentlemen, and then leaves.
Balazar will nod to Baldrum.
So will Max.
After Store and Graysail leave, Cora just kind of gives you guys a nod and kind of seems to go mingle with the crowd and the clientele around. Seems to be socializing and drinking with whoever is in the tavern. So you guys are welcome to do some things in the tavern, should you choose, or if you have any last-minute things you want to pick up before departing, you can, or we can fast forward till the next day.
Is Leodel still at the table with us, or does Leodel get up and leave?
Yeah, she would have been actually waiting for something for a little while, and then eventually you would actually see that whoever the cook of the tavern was had brought back something that she had actually brought to the tavern, and just paid them a little bit to cook for her. Some sort of freshly slain meat, and as you see it and smell it, it looks like venison. And she would offer to share it if anybody wanted any.
Balazar would say, "You are being gracious. I am thanking you," and take some and eat it, and would also say, "This stunted one seems to fit the descriptions I have heard of his people."
I think I know what you mean. He does.
Who?
They're talking about your companion.
Baldrum.
Oh, yeah. He's you just need to get to know him.
The meat is competently cooked, slightly over-seasoned, but kind of greasy because it's is prepared in a little bit of a sailor's dive bar. So you get the feeling probably anything cooked in that kitchen is on the greasy side.
They slathered it in butter before they grilled it.
Or they just cooked it in something that's never been washed before and it's got all the grease and everything else that's been cooked in that pot.
If anybody makes an Applebee's joke, we're not friends anymore.
Come on, Thomas. It wasn't heated up in a microwave.
You didn't notice on the sign, Thomas, it said Beach Leviathan, formerly known as Applebee's.
The Beach Leviathan is just the Applebee's of the Sword Coast.
They've got them everywhere. It's like a themed pirate restaurant. All the waiters dress in pirate stuff and go "arr" when they're taking your order. This is not criticism towards your companion, just that he is seeming intense.
He's very driven, certainly.
What drives him?
Well, I feel like he, you know, I'm not really sure. He just seems like he wants to make a difference, or maybe just maybe he's trying to make up for something. I don't know. I haven't known him for a very long time, but he always seems to want to do well and bring up the people around him, you know?
Alright. So I guess you guys aren't as good as friends as me and Bally over here.
Well, we've been traveling together for a few weeks, but, you know, what he had said is that he's been traveling all up and down the Sword Coast, so... for me, I just came up from a little town outside of Waterdeep not too long ago, so... Though I did spend some time in Elturel. That was an interesting journey.
You also notice as soon after I said Bally, and since Balazar didn't say anything, Maximilian would smile a little bit, thinking that that's acknowledgement that he can now start calling him Bally.
He wouldn't have said anything, but he would have turned and given you a look.
His smile
that indicated that he did not approve.
So then she would turn and say, "Okay, so Max, Balazar, you can call me Leah."
Very well.
You may call me Max.
You guys have any last minute things you want to do in Neverwinter this evening before we go, or anything to do in the tavern?
Let me see if I need any spell components.
Your first level, you can't afford that.
No.
I would imagine it wouldn't be too hard for me to have a twig from a tree that's been struck by lightning.
I don't know, can you afford that at first level?
I think so. So you could probably just find one somewhere.
So Leah would be excited to spend at least a few hours trying out the new fishing tackle that she had purchased in Neverwinter as soon as she heard it was going to be a nautical journey. So she'd probably spend a couple hours doing that before bedtime. Especially since they're right on the coastline.
By the way, retcon a little bit. She said about a 6-day journey, not about 4. Just
okay.
To work on that. I was researching ship speed earlier, and I screwed up on my thing. But about a 6-day journey.
And are weeks in this 7 days long?
I believe in Forgotten Realms, yes. So Forgotten Realms calendar is 12 months, 30 days.
It's like it's parallel to our
each
own.
month, right? But then to make up for the random days, there are 4 or 5 holidays that don't occur within a month; they occur between months.
Yeah, there's like some weeks are like more days because they're just like holiday weeks are like a day longer or a day shorter.
Right.
So it's not like some weird campaign that has 10 days in a week.
No, honestly, it would make more sense.
It's an example out of the air,
No,
Yeah.
you know what? It honestly makes more sense here because if you have a 30-day month, 7 days doesn't even go into that. It makes more sense for each month to be 3 10-day weeks, frankly.
That's true.
Mm.
What kind of weird society would have 7-day weeks? It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense. So you guys would have actually been, since we're 10 days into February, aka Alteriac, we're actually 10 days past the last holiday, which was Midwinter, which is the holiday that celebrates exactly what it is, which is we're now closer to spring than we are at the beginning of winter.
Mm.
So there's probably a little bit of a chill in the air.
Definitely. It would definitely be cold. Whoops. I did not mean to do that.
And the place of the Earth shift in the top northern part of the map. Just
Good lord. There we go.
California.
Sweet.
Just slow down.
Earthquake! Yeah. So there we go.
So yeah, I'll spend the 4 hours fishing as in what's listed in the hunting and gathering thing before bed. So I only need that 4 hours of meditating time.
All right, well, go ahead and make whatever appropriate check that would be. Do they have that in there? I don't have it in front of me.
Yeah, so you roll a d20. So I get a bite from a medium fish. And I have to do a survival roll to see if I can catch it.
Gorgeous.
And the DC for medium is 15.
Oh, nice. You catch a fish.
You catch a dog. A dogfish.
5 pound fish. Nice.
We're still at the beach, Leviathan, with their dog.
Which is even weird. He catches a fish in the middle of the tavern. All right.
Fishing in the toilet.
Fishing in the barrel full of fish that they're going to use to cook later.
So as the evening goes on, the Leviathan definitely gets standing room only. Plenty of cheap mead being passed around and greasy food. As it gets busier in there, they basically stop making food to order. You basically get they kind of have this like giant cauldron of like kind of a beef vegetable stew. If you want something to eat, they take a ladle and they slap it in a bowl and give you a piece of bread that's hard as a rock that you need to soak into the stew to make it edible at all. And they don't have any professional live music, but rather once the sailors get a little lathered up, they start singing amongst themselves, and the mood is jovial, interrupted by the occasional display of testosterone that needs to be broken up.
Balazar, when it got busier, he would have gone up to his room and just been reading.
Maximilian would have done the same if you would follow Balazar.
Baldrum would be out among all the festivities, but not joining in and just watching them all very judgmentally.
He's the grumpy guy at the metal concert that just stands there with his arm crossed.
This isn't real metal.
But it's not about that. It's about looking grim.
So evening goes by. Next day, kind of early morning, as they'd like to get moving. You approach the dock where the crew of the voyage gather their final supplies. Wish farewell to onlookers or friends who have maybe huddled onto the docks. You can see in at least one case, it looks like one of the sailors met a companion last night, and he might be saying goodbye to his one-night girlfriend. And you all pile into a number of small rowboats, and the splash of oars into the cold water pushes the crew and passengers, and you arrive at the side of the majestic voyage, a fairly sleek caravel, slightly on the smaller side for some of the ships here. You have to get out of the rowboats and climb on the like rope ladders that goes up the side, and you can definitely tell who has climbed up those ladders before and who hasn't. So I believe, if my memory serves me correctly, I want to make sure I get this correct. And you guys will have to correct me if I'm wrong when I say this. Baldrum takes the climb up the ropes, no problem, as do all the sailors. Max does okay with it, and Balazar and Leodel are kind of struggling for a moment as the ship rocks gently in the harbor, and with the kind of slippery cold rope, it's a little bit of a new experience, but eventually would work your way up to the deck of the voyage. And as the crew secures the rowboats and pulls up said rope ladders, secures the last of the supplies, and raises anchor, drops sail, the canvas catches the winds, and the ship slowly pulls away from the city of Neverwinter. And as soon as I find what I'm looking for, where is it? There it is. The party is on the way to the island kingdom of Gundarloon.
Baldrum would. Oh, God.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to say, Baldrum would be kind of going around, tugging on masts and sails and things like that, just kind of like inspecting the ship, judgmentally, just kind of like swiping things with his fingers, seeing how dirty they are, and just kind of every few seconds, just kind of going to himself.
I would. The ship is very obviously professionally taken care of. You don't find
Doesn't matter
to judge them on. And actually, as you're performing your inspection, you kind of bump into Store, who seems to be doing the same thing that you are. Because you've been on the sea before, I can tell. As he kind of tugs on one of the ropes to check the knots, and you can see one of the sailors as they go by kind of rolls his eyes at him.
Your ship is in passable condition.
Oh,
Should
not
have
my
some
ship.
pride in that.
Captain's ship. I'm just a passenger like you. And he goes to the next rope and gives it a tug.
This party's going to be terrible at talking to NPCs.
Yep.
They all sit there and look at each other like, you talk. No, you talk. No, you. No, you.
Well, and when we do finally talk to someone, it's going to be like, hey, fuckface.
I hate you. The ship, as it pulls away from Neverwinter, the water is not, or the ocean is not what I would call calm. There's definitely some waves as the ship kind of rises and crashes and rises and crashes. It seems to be going mostly with the wind, not 100% with the wind, but mostly with the wind.
What type of con save do I need to make for seasickness? What's the DC?
It's funny. I was actually going to do this for storytelling purposes. If your character has not been on a ship before, go ahead and make a con save for seasickness.
11.
Both Balazar and Leah, after a few hours, you can feel yourself getting a little bit queasy. Balazar, you manage to not throw up a butt, but Leah, after a little bit, you notice the young half-elf heaving over the side of the ship.
I'm going to make another con save because I'm watching her throw up. I'm throwing up.
And as soon as he sees Leah, the one on each side, no, I don't need to make a perception check because we have passive perception. Leah doesn't notice because she's busy heaving over the side. But Max, you notice a couple of the sailors snicker amongst themselves, and there's some coin passed among them, as maybe they were betting among who would be the first of the landlubbers to heave over the side in the voyage.
Baldrum would walk over with like some plain like saltine crackers and some water and hand it to Leodel and Balthazar, and he'd say, "There's enough things in the ocean that'll be trying to take your guts without you giving them up willingly. Keep your stomachs in your mouths." He'll hand them like the plain crackers and walk away.
Balazar will say, "I am thanking you," and we'll start to nibble on the crackers.
Your thanks is acknowledged.
I'm gonna walk up to the sailors that were passing around coins.
It's like he's Bastion, but he's a dick.
I just had the same thought, Aaron. He's a dwarf version of Bastion. As you're passing out these crackers, a passenger who you guys had not noticed initially comes from the lower deck. It's a young, you would guess, late teens, early 20s, a dark-haired human woman. She has what does she have? She has kind of a loose-fitting robes with a kind of a thick, like fur cloak pulled over the top, tied around the neck, and a hood up for the cold. You guys, it is kind of misting the weather, not quite raining, but it's just kind of wet and misty, and it's almost enough for snow, but not quite. So it's pretty cold. And she has where is she on here? she has. I want to make sure I get the right. And around her neck is a chain with an iconography of a plate gauntlet with an eye in the middle of it.
That's
It's Vecna.
Helm.
No.
It is Helm. Yeah, she has the holy symbol of Helm around her neck, and anybody from Forgotten Realms would know. But just so if you are not as familiar, Helm is one of the more common deities in Forgotten Realms, a greater deity, and he is called the Watcher, the Vigilant One, the god of guardians and protectors, typically worshipped by guards, paladins, soldiers. Kind of seen as a distant deity who takes the role of defender of the common folk, a little bit. And when she kind of sees you guys heaving over the edge, and as you're holding onto these just hard, unflavored crackers that Baldrum gave you, which will help, as he grumpily walks away, this young girl, kind of in a soft voice, goes up to you both and reaches into a little pouch off to the side and hands you like a small, like a green twig with some leaves on it. She says, "Chew on this; it will help with the seasickness." And she introduces herself as Chandri.
Do I recognize the plant?
Make a nature check.
Nature. 16.
You do. It's a fairly common local plant that is known for basically having like almost like like ginger wood, kind of soothes your stomach. You don't really eat it. You more like chew on it, and it soothes the tummy.
Balazar will bow and say, "I am thanking you."
She says, "You're very welcome." And she offers the same thing to Leah.
Yep. And she would start chewing on it.
And then you see, after she introduces herself, she slowly works her way around, and she introduces herself to Balazar as well. And
she already introduced herself.
I'm sorry, to Baldrum. It's those BAL.
We're gonna do it again.
You guys did it to me again.
We didn't even mean to.
Oh yeah.
To Baldrum and to Max and to Cora as well. And then she kind of walks up and stands next to Captain Greysail as she is steering the ship.
Those sailors that were passing around the coins earlier,
Mhm.
I'm going to go up to them and
Okay.
ask them a question.
Oh, Baldur's gonna watch.
So, did any of you guys vote for me to be the first one thrown up?
He goes, "Well, you weren't the favorite, but sometimes you got to put money on the ones that aren't quite as common, you know."
Yeah. I wish I would have known about this. I would have bet on my band Bally, although I would have lost.
Well, if we get any more,
I'm still throwing up. I just wasn't first.
if you get any more games of choice and we need a sucker, we'll let you know. And he kind of gives you a wink and a slap on the arm.
Ah. Thank you. And I'll walk away.
Hey Goose, is there anybody up in the crow's nest?
Absolutely. Yeah, there would be a sailor up in the crow's nest, yeah.
Okay. At some point, I would go and ask the captain if I could take a shift up in the crow's nest.
Make a persuasion check.
I don't really do those.
DM, I'm gonna say no. I don't
Captain
do those. No,
Greysail
thank you.
kind of focusing on steering the ship, says, "Oh, we have a perfectly competent crew. Thank you. Just enjoy the ride."
She would look a little dejected, but then would
Whoops, I didn't mean to do that.
walk away, and would probably start fishing because she would start to get bored.
Baldrum is throwing the warhammer at somebody.
I didn't mean to do that.
He's just showing his proficiency. He's not attacking anybody.
He's going around telling everyone how proficient he is with the warhammer.
I'm so good with the warhammer.
I would just start climbing up to the crow's nest, just because I'm curious to see what the view is from up there. I wouldn't really ask anyone.
Make an athletics check.
Ah,
It's a little bit rocky, but you do eventually make your way up there. And the sailor that's up there gives you kind of an odd look when you arrive.
hello there. I just want to look at the view. Is that alright?
So sure, just let me know if you spot anything, I suppose.
Alright, will do. I'm just going to spend about 30 minutes to an hour up there just looking around, taking in the sight.
One moment.
Balazar is trying to set up like a mock game of Dragon's Chess where he's going to play against himself, and the pieces keep falling over because the boat's rocking so much, and he's getting very frustrated.
Is he on top of the ship right now? Or on deck, I mean?
He's on the deck, yeah.
I would look down and I'd go, "Hey, Balazar, you should come up here. It's a great view. Hey, Bally."
The sailor turns and says, "No, Bally, don't come up here. It's plenty crowded. There's more people up here than we need already."
Do not be worrying. Do not want to go up there.
Why'd you let him call you Bally and not me?
Don't call me Bally.
Yeah, he doesn't like it when you call him Bally. Only I can call him Bally.
Make a persuasion check.
Me?
No, Balazar.
Okay.
He kind of yells from the crow's nest, "Hey boys, remember he doesn't like to be called Bally."
Like him. They're totally gonna call him Bally now, aren't they?
Absolutely.
I love it.
I will I will spend a first level spell slot to send magic missiles whizzing past the guy, but not at him.
Do any of them hit me?
No, none of them hit you. I am deliberately not hitting anyone, making a threat.
So as the ship proceeds eastward, it settles into a little bit of a routine. After the ship is kind of moving along, you can tell half of the crew kind of break off to go rest below deck and wait for their shift. They're on a ship like this, there are not enough bunks for everybody to rest simultaneously. You have to hot bunk it. You have to rotate out because half the crew is on, half the crew is off, so nobody ever gets to deck bunk to themselves, even the passengers.
If that's the case, I will rest now.
All right.
At some point, Baldrum would want to pull Leodell aside and just say, "What do you think of our traveling companions? They seem loud."
Well, I suppose they're here for the same reason we are, which is to offer some sort of tactical aid to whatever they're doing. So I guess we won't really know until we get to see them in action, right?
The Dragonborn has arcane gifts. I'm not sure about the other, but they seem distracted. We'll have to make sure that we're being doubly vigilant now that we have 2 more people to protect.
Well, maybe they can offer some protection to us as well.
We'll see. I worry that their lack of focus may compromise this job for us. Just try not to rely on them too heavily till we get a better idea of who they are.
In the middle of your conversation, which is you guys have been on the water a couple hours now, you hear the lookout shout, "Sails ahoy!" and he points behind you guys, and there seems to be just another ship sailing southward. Nobody really seems to pay much attention. He was seems like just kind of doing his job and pointing it out, but you guys are sailing in opposite directions, and it just continues to the south.
I would go down with Balazar to go rest.
And
And
Balazar, as you're working your way down below to rest, pretty much every sailor you see acknowledges you and greets you. Hey, Bally, how's it going, Bally? Welcome to the ship, Bally. They're very friendly. Only to you, though.
My threat to the other guy had no effect.
No effect whatsoever.
Do I hear this as I'm going down?
Definitely.
I'm just thinking of stuff. Ah, crap. I'm gonna have to apologize to him about this.
He's gonna be so grumpy.
How close is Marcus behind me going down?
I would imagine he would probably just be walking down there when you were already there, and somebody walks by and kind of does it, type of deal.
I'm going to look at Max and say, "You are doing this to me."
I'm sorry. I told one guy I didn't realize I was gonna.
I'm gonna
the
lay
entire
over
ship.
and with my back to him and just try to go to sleep.
I really did think it was gonna catch on like this, Balazar. I'm sorry.
I'm ignoring him.
Well then,
This is what Baldur means when he says they're distracted, Leodell. Take notes.
I guess I'll see you in the morning.
Still ignoring you.
Since you're ignoring me, I'll lay down in my bed like, all right, night, Valley.
Baldrum Store comes up to you on deck. He says, "Is this the kind of ship that you've sailed on before?"
No, not really.
Me neither. I'm very interested. It's a completely different style of vessel than I'm used to.
The crew seems better than I was expecting, but I don't know what to make of our other traveling companions yet.
Well, they were selected just as you were by the Lord of Neverwinter. I'm sure they're perfectly competent. Besides, I don't think this is going to be much to do about anything anyway. Simple shipwreck and some, scared villagers. I'm sure it'll be much ado about nothing. Should be an easy payday for you.
We'll see.
And as you're kind of chit-chatting with Store, it's gotten to the point in the day where the sun is like just touching the horizon, so kind of dusk, low light. You hear the lookout call from the crow's nest. Captain Wreckage! To the northeast! And she kind of stands on her tippy toes, looks at where he's pointing, and kind of angles the ship a little bit to go toward where the lookout's pointing. And she yells to the crew to trim the sails to slow the ship down a little bit. And as you get a little closer, you can see the wreckage of another ship in the water. You can see kind of sails and ropes floating.
Can I get an idea, like, on how recent the shipwreck looks?
Yes, you can. I would say.
Would that be like a water vehicle check? I don't know.
Yeah. Actually, that's a good thing. I would say a intelligence or wisdom. What do you think makes more sense?
I think intelligence.
Okay, sure. Let's say.
Well, let's probably be like close to like survival, right? Let's survival.
Survival's wisdom. So let's say a wisdom check, land or water vehicles proficiency.
It's the same thing.
So perfect. It looks fairly recent. You would say.
Baldrum would take 1 minute, 5 rounds to take off his chain armor in case he needs to swim.
Take off. Okay. As you're starting to strip off your chain armor, you can see pieces of the hull, I should say, cargo crates, barrels, some smashed, some not, floating. And you can see also some bodies of the crew floating in the water as well. And a number of the crew are looking at the wreckage, and but that's just kind of it. Captain doesn't seem to get too close, but she does sail by it slowly.
Leodell,
Hmm?
keep me covered, and then I dive into the water, basically strip down to just like his long john underwear, and it just starts swimming around and checking bodies.
As it becomes clear that that's what you're planning to do, a couple of the sailors, in a slight panic, run over before you do, and they grab your arms and they go, "No, don't! Could be kelpies in there."
Yeah, probably. Let go of my arm.
What are
Make
kelpies?
a nature check with disadvantage, I would say, since you've probably never been in the water.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were talking to me. My bad.
Well, both actually. You would be not
Yes.
with disadvantage. Thomas, do you actually know what a kelpie is?
I don't.
Okay. So Leodell would not know this. Baldrum would. Kelpies are intelligent plants that basically look like seaweed. And when they're perfectly still, they are indistinguishable from seaweed. They also have the ability to, especially in low light conditions or confused conditions, make themselves look like a humanoid corpse, and they feed off of dragging things under the water.
He's still gonna check, just in case.
Make an athletics check opposed to the two crewmen who are next to you holding your arm.
Baldrum cares much more about the small chance of saving someone more than the chance of being attacked by something.
All right,
What kind of check is it? Athletics?
Athletics check, yep. And they're going to be, I'm just going to make one at advantage.
I can't intimidate them into releasing me.
You could try, but first they're holding onto your arms as you're trying
Yeah,
to
that's
jump in
fair.
the water. 20.
17. Fuck.
Between the two of them, they're holding you, and they yell, "Captain, he's trying to jump in the water!" And Captain says, "Fool, do not jump off this boat. We will not come after you."
That's fine. I'll catch up.
No,
But hey-
no, he would know better than that. That's
Do
death
not let
sentence.
him off the ship. And you see a couple more of the sailors running over to you. If he resists, put him below.
You're gonna go to the brig. Ship this small probably wouldn't have a brig though. They'd have to make one.
Baldrum would take out 10 gold pieces, and he would say, 10 gold for a minute of your time. You wait the ship here 1 minute, I check a few corpses, you make a fat payday. Worst case scenario, I die and you have to pay me less.
He says, "Fool, they've been dead a long time. This water is very cold. Nobody is staying alive. However, I will bring the ship in closer if you want to check the bodies with an oar, maybe."
And is this on the first day?
This is at
Yeah.
the very end of the first day. It's almost darkness.
Okay.
Baldrum is not happy.
Would we still be asleep?
Probably.
I'd imagine there's a bit of a commotion.
Yeah, make a. How?
If
Also,
I'm,
the two
if
of
I'm
you, two of you-
sleeping, it would be passive perception if I'm sleeping.
Well, I was just gonna say I'll have a 50-50 shot of you waking up. Have each of you roll a D2. On a D1, the noise wakes you. A 1, and 2, you sleep through it. The two of you who are below, you guys both sleep through it. The gentle noise of the ship rocking just puts you into a
Being
baby-like
rocked to sleep
slumber.
by the boat.
Yeah.
Baldrum's pissed.
Well, you can check the bodies with an oar.
Yeah, he'll do that.
Right. True to her word, she does swing the ship in a little bit closer. However, there are like 3 guys next to you all the time. Actually, even before she gives you the oar, she instructs you to put your armor back on.
Fine, I'll take 10 rounds, and I'll put my chain shirt back on.
All right, and then they hand you the oar.
Figured I'd be taking off this chain shirt a lot, so I made sure I know how many rounds it takes. It's 5 rounds to take it off, 10 rounds to put it on.
That's a good call.
Need to get it enchanted with the Mariner enchant.
Yep, take notes, Brian.
So as you guys are, she true to her word, she slows the ship down. She even has it put at minimum sails, so the ship can basically creep by.
That's called reefed. The sails are reefed.
Yes. I'm gonna have the 2 of you who are on deck make insight checks, please.
Perception or insight?
Insight checks. You can tell 1, the captain is annoyed, and 2, the crew is incredibly nervous. And this ship slowly creeps by. There are definitely, if you were to guess without actually counting, probably a dozen, give or take, bodies still on the surface of the water. Their skin it's very hard to tell in the low light. The lighting is not great as the sun is going down over the horizon. But the bodies are very blue.
Yeah, hypothermia a long time ago. Water that cold, you're going to have hypothermia in less than a minute.
Baldrum, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh.
As you're poking one of the bodies, you kind of hear this whispering in your head, "Join me, join." And you just for like a half a second, you feel yourself starting to like almost vault over the railing into the water, and then you kind of shake it off and you look around, and the body that you were poking seems to disintegrate and swim away in a kind of blur of seaweed.
What I know, Brian, is it likely that these Kelpie things destroyed the ship, or are they just they're just
definitely
feasting on bodies?
Yeah, they wouldn't be strong enough to destroy a ship. They're not
scavengers.
They're medium sized.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're vulturing it. Gotcha.
Right, and not just that, but they're intelligent enough to know if there's other ships around, they may try to rescue people as well.
I'm going to use a divine sense, and I'm just going to see if there are any celestials, fiends, or undead within 60 feet of me.
There are no celestials, fiends, or undead within 60 feet of you.
Okay.
And you know for a fact that Kelpies are actually plants. They're just intelligent plants.
Yeah, I just figured why not. Might as well check. And Baldrum will huff and go below deck.
Okay,
now he's not friends with any. The crew is not his friends anymore. He's done being so friendly.
Actually,
can I just keep a look over the side to see if I can see any signs of life?
You absolutely may make a nature check.
Can I do perception instead, or survival?
Survival, sure. You do not see anybody that you think would be a survivor. No.
Okay.
Baldrum, when that creature swims away, you can see the crew go, "There was one! There was one! Stay sharp!"
Yeah.
It could have been the end of Baldrum right there.
Baldrum, would it make you feel better if I tried to shoot a couple of them?
No. Bodies are in the sea. Belongs to them now.
Oh, but if they're Kelpies, maybe we can get them to go away.
Well, bodies belong to the Kelpies now. It's in the ocean. They're dead. Wouldn't be fair to disturb them.
It was nice of you to try to see if there was anyone safe, though.
Yeah. Not so nice of the crew to... Yeah. Pricks.
I think they're just interested in making sure that they're safe. Especially if they can't defend themselves the way you can. I can't really blame them for that.
I can.
So as the ship leaves the wreckage, she has the sails unfurled once more, and the ship continues on through the night and into the next morning. Hold on 1 second here. Gotta change my note real quick. So I would say that Max and Balazar would definitely be on deck first thing in the morning because you guys crashed pretty early.
Yeah, I would be up before anyone else, and I would on the deck of the ship take my knife out and start etching a symbol into the deck unless someone stopped me. And if I was able to do that successfully, I would kneel down in front of it, pull out this multi-chromatic talisman thing, and have this like little ritual I do where I have this little kind of pot that has some incense and some smoke coming out of it, and I would kind of murmur something and then like throw a handful of salt at it that would kind of make it just go like whoosh in fire, and then I would pack it all up again.
About halfway through carving, one of the sailors who was on deck at, basically this would be like just as the sun is starting to rise in the morning. He says, "You okay there, Bally? What you got?"
It is a ritual.
Sailors being very superstitious, he is a good ritual? Protection? Luck?
It can be.
You see him kind of think about it, and then he kind of shrugs and walks away.
The little multicolored disc thing that I pulled out would it's actually a divine symbol, but probably not a lot of people are going to recognize it. I'll message you what it is.
Okay. Leah and Baldrum, will you be getting up first things in the morning, or are you going to finish a longer rest?
Well, I would have been continuing probably to fish throughout the entire time unless I was asked to do something else. And then
Nope,
probably,
you're passengers. They basically don't ask you to do anything.
I would have probably been interested in trying out my hand at fishing at night since I have dark vision. And then probably would have decided to go do my trance for 4 hours right as the sun started to come up. And anyone that was... I probably would have gone below decks and found, somewhat of a private corner anywhere below decks, and would actually have taken the strapped cylinder container off of my back, and anyone who was down there would have noticed me open it up and retrieve a bundle from it, and would have sat it in my lap as I sat like crisscross, and just began my trance while I was holding the bundle.
Would Baldrum see this?
Yeah, you've seen the bundle in there before.
Baldrum would probably come over and like put a blanket over you, like around your shoulders, so that you were covered.
I would have accepted it.
Would anyone other than one of the crewers have seen my ritual that I did, I wonder?
Unless they were on deck pre-sunrise, probably not.
Okay.
Have I seen it? You do it before?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I do it every morning.
So the sun is just cresting over the horizon. Max and Balazar, being on deck, see it, the brilliant and beautiful sunrise. It's colder today. The water's a little rougher. You can actually see very small snow flurries in the air as the ship continues to make its way westwards. The other two, Leah and Baldrum, kind of just getting up as the sun is cresting. You're each given a nice breakfast of hardtack and some meat jerky of some sort, and some fresh fruit because you're only a day out, so they still have fresh fruits, and it's cold, so the fruit will actually stay.
Oh, you want to ration that so not everyone gets rickets and syphilis and all that fun shit.
It's only a 3-day journey, so
Not
or
fair
6-day
enough.
I would have
journey.
offered some of the fish I was catching to everyone if they didn't want to eat hardtack.
They very, very much limit fire, so it would be a little bit hard to cook it unless you gave it to the ship's cook.
Oh, that's fair.
Sashimi style.
Yeah.
You can do ceviche, cook it with the fruit, the acid from the fruit.
And just as you guys are kind of settling in for the second day, hold on.
You get hit by a fireball and take 38 damage?
Yes,
Okay.
session's over.
Everybody's dead.
Let me get to my little notes here. I have my new journal for this campaign, so I got to remember where I put everything on here. There we go. So everybody, actually, because your passive perception is high enough, as you're enjoying the view and trying to steady yourself in the rougher waters. And about the same time, as you guys notice, you hear the lookout once again call, "Sails! To the east!" And on the horizon, cutting through the waves behind the voyage, is a slightly larger ship, very sleek. It looks like the hull has been painted red. It is clearly heading towards your vessel. And as it gets a little bit closer, you notice it has a black flag sporting a triangular red symbol flying from the top of the mast.
Is it coming from port or starboard?
It is coming from behind. It is on an intercept course. You guys are heading in this at the same heading, but it is behind you.
And is
Do
it
I
catching up
recognize
to
that
us?
symbol?
Make a religion check.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
Baldrum would just say, "At least they're professionals. Only amateur pirates forget to hoist the black flag."
It's so they're coming from stern.
Correct, from stern. And as the after just a minute or so after the lookout calls that, the captain actually wasn't helming the ship. She would have one of her officers doing so, but she kind of runs from down below, grabs the looking glass, and then you hear her ring the bell, and all of the crew are now on the deck, and they are putting full sails and clearly trying to outrun this ship.
Baldrum's got a shield and a trident, and he yells out to specifically the crew members that restrained him, "I'm not checking your bodies."
I'm gonna go up to the captain and ask, are we in for a fight here if they catch up to us?
She says, "Yes, that's That ship is the Devil's Fin. It's a somewhat well-known pirate ship operating in these waters. We do not want it to catch us.
So if they do catch up, there's no way to get out of this without fighting, right?
Well, I suppose we could surrender.
How far away are they? Are they within 600 feet?
What a great question. Let me do something here.
I am casting mage armor.
Aldrim's like giving orders while this is happening. He's like, Leodell, you want the crow's nest?
It seems like a decent place for me to be.
It is not within 600 feet. If you were to speculate, you would say it's probably about a mile to a mile and a half away.
Okay.
And basically spotted it on the horizon as the light conditions were getting good.
Well, I'm gonna pull out my longbow and knock an arrow and wait for them to get within 600 feet. And if they do, I'm gonna start shooting arrows at them.
Magic One, you're behind me.
All right.
Was he saying that to Balazar?
Yep.
What are you meaning?
Well, they're gonna try to kill us, and it'll be harder for them to kill us if you're behind me.
His name's Balazar. I'm just gonna yell it back.
You, focus on your longbow. Quit talking.
They're too far away for me to hit them. Got time.
Maybe if you focus, you could hit them from here.
Balazar is going to say to Baldrum, they are more than a mile out.
For now.
Gonna whisper to himself, focus. I don't like this guy very much.
Baldur's just standing there, just like staring at the ship.
I'm gonna also
if
ask
you
the
got
cap- Go ahead.
so as this kind of pursuit, if you will, is happening, it becomes clear that the slightly larger ship on to the stern, identified as the Devil's Fin, is a little bit faster than the Voyage. So if you can think of any way to, via skill check, to help the Voyage evade it, now would be the time to do so, basically.
Baldrum his immediate reaction is that we can't evade it, so he is giving orders to the crew to try to get them in the best positions for battle.
I don't think there's anything Balazar could do. Later on when I get control water, but...
Want to make like would that be like a charisma check? I don't know.
To do what?
Get the crew to listen to me.
Yeah,
And-
you could
and-
absolutely. Yep.
I want to divert their attention from the sails and stuff and get them into like, get them armed and get them ready for fighting.
You're trying to subvert the captain's authority?
Yeah, that's not it. You could make a charisma check to attempt to motivate them to maybe move faster and work harder.
You're talking mutiny, Thomas. Like,
No, I'm telling them that we're not outrunning it, so stop trying to outrun it and get weapons.
No, they will ignore you if you attempt to convince them to do
All
that.
right, well, he's still doing that.
I don't think there's anything that I can think of that would help with
Baldrum is giving these orders, but he's like not checking to see if people are following them. Like he's staring straight ahead and he's like, all right, I want 2 men on the port side. Next 2 of you, you're going to get longbows. Put them in the barrels. We need more arrow quivers. Put in that barrel over there. Leodell, you've got the outlook over there. And like nobody's doing what he's saying, but he's not looking back.
Except Leodell's trying to. But
I was about to say, Balazar's right beside him, and it's just going to say, they do not listen to you.
We're going to die.
Leodell would climb up to the crow's nest, though.
All right. One moment.
How far up is the crow's nest?
That's a great question. How far up would a crow's nest be? Let's hit the old Googler. We're going to learn as we go along.
Mainly, I need to know if it's more or less than 80 feet up.
36 feet is the average height for a medieval, or a piracy era crow's nest. It would take you like it would take you 2 full rounds, or maybe a round in a dash if you're climbing at half speed.
Well, she would do it carefully, so it'd probably take 2 to 3 rounds.
I would probably go up to the crow's nest as well.
All right.
I also have a climbing speed.
say,
There's
according to this
usually
is-
secondary platforms that are lower than just the
Correct.
crow's nest too.
The crow's nest is 24 feet off the deck, is the answer to the question.
Okay.
One moment.
And I, assuming I start at the same time as Leodell, I would probably get up there first.
1 second.
Would you give Leodell a hand to help her up?
I would, at the top. And then I would also tell the sailor to go on down. Me and Leodell got this.
I'm trying to find a way if I can have an mage armor, and I'm not seeing it.
If
I
you
see
can-
modifiers
Mage
for.
armor? What do you mean?
Yeah, I have my AC is 11, but I cast mage armor, so it should be
You're
13.
looking for show global AC modifier field on your
Ah.
options.
There you go. What a
and then you just
guy.
add in mage armor.
I'm looking for it.
Right on your show global damage modifier field.
When you click on the
there it
card,
is,
it's on
yep.
the right side. Yeah.
Yep, there it is. I got you.
All right. 1 second.
They really should just add a mage armor button for mages.
That'd be nice.
The hell?
You can add one.
Or if you have mage armor as a spell in your spell book, then it should
Yeah, you
just
can
show
add it
Yeah.
like a hunter's mark thing,
Yeah.
Yeah,
like a clickable.
Sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right
That's what I
now.
was told them to do.
I think they should have it automatically added for anyone who has mage armor on their
Well,
spell
that would
list.
assume that every mage class is automatically going to pick
If
mage
they have mage armor in their list, I mean,
13 plus dex. My dex is 1, so that makes my AC 14.
Yeah, sorry, it's
Oh.
first time we're doing this, so I'm getting all my sheets here.
Yep,
does
we're good.
Leodell have a ranged weapon that I see?
Yeah, short bow.
Okay,
And you?
longbow.
Oh, yours is bigger.
I have javelins.
With a long throw.
I have spells.
It's a very ranged party we have here.
So let's see the best way to do this.
What's the range on a short bow?
80.
Is it like 80? What about the? Is that the longest?
No, it's 80, 320.
Okay.
So I'm gonna switch to
Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Sorry.
this here. So this here, so I will explain to you guys everything that's on here. The ship in the back with the pirate sails on it represents the Devil's Fin.
Are we
I'm seeing
supposed to be
black.
able to see?
Black.
Oh, my bad. Hold on.
We're just looking at a small portion of the pirate flag right now. We just gotta zoom out. That's all.
How about now?
The telescope is
Woo!
working way
Hey.
too well.
Ooh.
Ooh.
All right. So the
Water.
ship in the back with the pirate sails represents the Devil's Fin. The ship in the front represents the voyage, obviously. This little token in the center with the compass, you should be able to see the number on it if you click on it, the 800.
We can't click on it. You have to make it controllable by us.
All right, well, let's do that then. I thought I did that, honestly. Try now.
Yep.
See the 800?
Yep.
That is
Yep.
the distance between the two ships.
Ah,
in
okay.
feet. The little arrow above is the direction of the wind.
Okay.
Interesting.
All right. So all the tokens on the right-hand side, those represent the various components of the Devil's Fin. So that's sails, hull, helm, and then each of the 3 weapons. And then there's a token for the crew at the top.
Hang on, I'm sorry. It's sails,
Sails, hull,
hull,
helm,
helm, and then and then the other 3 weapons.
and
Okay.
the other 3 are weapons. And then the left is the same thing on the voyage, which is the crew token, sails, hull, helm, and its weapons.
Interesting.
Okay?
This is cool.
Yep. So we're gonna see how this goes. So as soon as the Devil's Fin gets within 800 feet, you see a catapult launch a massive projectile that splashes in the water just behind the voyage. We're going to have everybody roll initiative. As soon as I can.
Do we have tokens?
Nope, I'll have to do that in a minute as well. Why can't I
I
find
mean, we
my
can
thing?
drag our tokens out there.
There we go.
True.
Yep, you can drag your token out there. You'll have to redo that and just I'll adjust it.
What I wouldn't give to have delayed blast fireball right now.
Yep. Indubitably. Who am I missing? Why didn't it populate here? Oh, because I clicked on the wrong thing. That's why. So that was actually these guys would have been a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, excellent. All right, Leah. The Devil's Fin is currently 800 feet behind the voyage.
Well, there's not really a whole lot I can do from here. I am just holding
actually,
an attack. But
I will tell you this because you're on the crow's nest. Oh, actually, Max, you said you went up there too, right?
Yeah.
So those of you on the crow's nest get a better view of what's going on that ship, and you see a couple things. One, it looks like on the deck of the ship what looks like a small ogre. And two, on the bow of the ship that you were not able to see on the deck, the ship appears to have a ram in the front of the ship.
interesting.
Oh, hold on here. Let's put you over here. And let's put Store and Cora and Chandri are all also on deck. Store looks like he's pretty much in the same mode that Baldrum is in. He's got his axe out and he's ready to let's do this. Captain Greysail seems to have zero interest whatsoever in actually fighting and would much rather prefer to just outrun them. So let's see here. In the interest of speeding this along, because I don't want to sit here and just click real fast, let me calculate something real quick. Where is it? Sail 60. Sail is 50. So, let's see. So it will actually take it 20 rounds to get to 600 feet.
Damn.
Yep. It's not that much faster. So I'm going to do this. And then what was the other thing? And the captain is kind of, actually we'll say instead of that, was it 20 rounds? We'll say 15 because once it was clear they were within firing range, the captain started moving the ship around rather than running in a straight line.
I would ask the captain, are you having any material that is flammable, can be burned easily?
She says the whole ship is flammable and can be burned easily. Can you be more specific? As she spins the wheel the other direction, the ship lurches to the left and everybody kind of goes with it.
Animal fat, tar, pitch.
Sure, all of the above.
Where do I find it?
Down below deck in repair materials. What is it that you'd like to do with it?
He's already left. I'm going to go try to get just a bucket of some of it.
Sure. Easily done.
And hopefully find a striker or something like that as well. And how many rounds do you think it would take for me to do that?
I don't know, 10?
10. Okay.
A minute?
I'm gonna
2 minutes, yeah.
I'm gonna come back up deck and say, and I will have also gotten some cloth. And taken some of the arrows from on the deck, wrapped the heads in the cloth, dipped them in the stuff, and started handing them to people and say, "Max,
Yeah.
come here, get these
He's in the
arrows."
crow's nest.
What?
Yeah, I'm yelling up at him.
All right, I'll be right down.
I'm making the flaming arrows.
I will go down, and I will help him.
I'll have tried to prepare like 10 or 20 for the two people in the crow's nest. How many do you think I could have prepared?
Let's say you can do 1 a round, and it's been 10 rounds to get it, and I've just done 5 rounds, so 5.
Okay.
5 arrows.
I will give them 5 of those arrows, and then I will, for now, just continue to make more every round.
So we'll say 3.
Low ways away, but I'll try to hit it.
3.
Are they still firing projectiles at us with their?
Yes, they have one weapon that is within range at this range, and it has been firing.
Can,
Oh,
can
actually,
I see?
hold on.
Can I see what it is firing?
Yes, it is a catapult, but actually ignore that.
Right, but what is the material that is being shot at us?
It's a giant rock, basically.
Okay, so it's
I feel
not.
like I probably wouldn't be able to destroy a rock with my arrow shots.
No, definitely not. It's like a 5d10 worth of damage rock.
At least it's
I was
not like
thinking the same
a clay pot full of oil.
Correct.
That would like flaming oil. That would fucking suck.
If it was, I'd be trying to shoot that out of the air.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because if that lands on the ship, we're fucked.
Oh, okay, actually only 2 hit, because I forgot it's a disadvantage range in the 15 rounds. Let's see.
How many hit points does our ship have?
The hull has 250 hit points, but it also has a damage threshold. If anything does less than 15 damage, it doesn't affect the hull. It has to do more than 15 damage, and then it'll take the damage.
All right.
So at this range, one of those giant rocks comes crashing into the sails.
Rip.
That would be...
That's going to slow us down a little bit.
Oh, let's try that again. For 18 damage on the sails. And another one crashes into the hull for 29 damage in the hull. The way I have it set up is it's basically no effects until something is at half.
Okay.
Can you guys hear my fan that I turned on?
Nope.
Cool, perfect.
All right. So now it is 600 feet away. I think that was the distance that Max said you could start doing stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I would have given you the striker so that you could ignite your arrows as well.
All right.
That might be a 2-person operation, though.
So. That's the collateral damage on the crew. It looks like one of the crewmen got grievously injured when that thing crashed into the hull.
Okay. Is he like unconscious, bleeding out? Or...
Yep.
Okay.
Basically.
Well, then I'll go down and I'll use my healing kit to
Stabilize him. Okay.
him.
Great.
If I saw you moving I would say, no, I will take care of it. I cannot do anything.
I would come down anyway.
Okay.
And I would go up to
And then it says, get shit on.
Right.
Don't tell me what to do.
I'll go up to Baldrum and what do you think we should do? Do you think there's a way we could? Do you think it would be smart for us to try to get onto their ship and try to attack them, or?
I don't see how. If it was possible, we'd certainly be in a better position.
I'm gonna look around. Are there any dinghies on this ship?
It does have rowboats, yeah. There's a couple rowboats.
All right, Brian, I have a question for you that
Fire away.
you might not be able to answer, and you might not answer just because you're a DM and it would make sense.
Sure.
Would I be more likely to get hit with catapults if I'm in a dinghy or if I'm swimming?
You would be more likely to get hit by catapults in a dinghy. However, bear in mind the temperature of the water.
Hypothermia real fast before you get to your ship.
Taking off his chainmail.
Do I
Why
hear
does
this
this guy
conversation
keep
happen?
stripping on board?
I don't think we can swim over there, Baldrum. That's but maybe if we were on a dinghy, we might be able to climb up the side of the boat.
Yeah, all right.
Do I
Max,
hear
what
this
is it that you want to do? You're on the crow's nest, so probably not.
Okay. Well, since I have those 5 arrows now, I'm gonna. Is it gonna take an action to light one and then another action to shoot it, or be a bonus
No, it's
action?
just
to
a
light?
bonus action, light it, and then fire it.
All right, I will take a bonus action to light it, and then I will try and shoot at the sails. I think to set them on fire.
My man.
All right, roll to hit.
Since it's 600 feet, it will be a disadvantage. right?
Disadvantage, yep.
13.
Let me check here. The AC of the sails is, which I should have put it on the token, but I didn't. That was silly of me. Hold on a minute here. The AC of the sails is 12, actually.
Nice.
Nice.
So you do hit.
Alright.
So we will say whatever the damage is normally, and then 1d6 fire damage, but it's going to be resistant because it's winter and the sails are soaked. Nice.
Max damage on both.
And we will give it we will say a 1 in 10 chance of actually igniting it on fire, but because you rolled max damage, we'll say 2 in 10. So roll a d10. On a 1 or a 2, the sails will actually catch fire.
Roll low. Ah.
All right. So you have 4 more shots if you want to keep taking them. You can wait for the ship to get closer as well.
Now, I assume Balazar is still making more arrows.
I have nothing else I can do right now, so that's what I'm doing.
So yeah, I will take the more shots.
Okay. Let's have you just take 5 more, let's say. So
Miss.
miss,
One.
miss,
One hit.
miss. So same thing. And then, so roll a d10 on a 1, the sails are set on fire. Negative. Nice, 10 more damage.
Damn.
All right, so that was 5 rounds. Anybody else doing anything those 5 rounds?
I have made 5 more arrows.
Okay. The catapult continues to fire, and it is still at a long range. Yes, it is. Okay, so that's 3. So I'm gonna roll them again. And so 2 hit. Whoops, and again.
And we don't have any kind of projectile attacking stuff on this ship.
They do, but they're not as long range.
Oh, okay.
This ship
We
has
have
2 ballistas on
ballistas.
it. Yeah, it has front. So there's one that's mounted in the front that can fire to the front and both sides, and there's one that's mounted in the rear that can fire to the rear and both sides.
Oh, okay. And what's the range?
You'll notice I stopped at 480 feet because that is the long range on the ballistas.
Do they have crew manning those, or do they want us to man those?
Yeah, there is crew manning them, but you could also choose to man them if you wanted to. Let me see here, 1 second here. So 24 sail damage. You notice the ship noticeably slows down as one of the boulders crashes through the sails above. And another one goes crashing into the hull. Whoops. And a couple more crewmen are also injured.
I'll continue doing triage.
All right. 480 feet out. Are you guys going to let the crew fire the ballistas, or you could choose to fire the ballista? It is a siege weaponry proficiency. Or you could just add your dexterity with no proficiency, assuming you're not dexterous in that.
When I see the crew starting to man the ballistas, I will take one of the ballista bolts off to the side and begin to prepare it with, like, I'm going to let them keep shooting. I'm not going to get in the way, but once I have it done, I'm preparing a ballista in the same way, but it's much bigger arrow, so needs more cloth, needs more tar to make a bigger flame.
Once a couple of the crew realize what they're doing, those bolts are pretty big, so they actually come help you, make it a little easier for you.
Okay.
There you go. So 3 rounds later, they'll have those sails fixed. And they needed 2 hit points on them, so they got it over half.
Nice.
So in 2 rounds, that'll be done. So the first bolt they will fire will not have the fire on it because you were preparing it, but the second bolt will. Let's see. The first bolt hits the hull and does not pierce the damage threshold, so seems to bounce off the hull.
What I will say when they're loading the firebolt as I'm igniting it is, be aiming for the sails.
They aim upwards and fire at the sails, and they hit.
Worst part about being level 1 Brian is no one listens to us.
I know, right? And because it's the bigger one, let's see. Whoops, hold on. Does not catch fire, but it does do 22 points of sail damage. The ship behind starts
immediately start preparing the next fire bolt.
You can see the crew of the rear ship starting to frantically re-rig the sails as it noticeably slows down, and you guys begin re-putting distance behind. The crew turn to you, Baldrum, and say, "Help with these lines!" And they appear to be trying to pull the sails tauter to catch more wind. So there's a bunch of sailors like grabbing lines and like holding them as hard as they can. If you want to help them,
Sure.
you can.
Is that a water vehicle check with
Athletics check, actually?
Athletics.
And you see Store.
Oh shit!
Same thing on the other side. Nice. Between the two of you, each holding these lines on the main sail, the ship seems to pick up even more steam.
Baldrum's got like one in each hand and one in his teeth.
I know. This is how you do it! And the crew of the Devil's Fin is trying to repair. See if that'll give them enough. They need 3. So 4 rounds later, they get those sails up again. Let's see, I think what's the best way to do this. We'll have them fire a few times, and you guys have fire a few times. And then I think okay, so here's what we're going to do.
Would you say every other bolt can be a flaming one, or every third bolt?
Yeah, that'll work. So we'll have you guys fire 4. 2 of them will be flaming. And where is it? Up over here.
I would have gone down, grabbed the rest of the fire arrows that Ballister made, and then go back up and shot
Okay,
those.
so you go take your 4 shots too. Hit, miss, hit.
Well, it's disadvantage, so it's.
Oh, the 9
hits.
hit 2 hits. Yeah, that's correct.
Ooh, max damage
Nice.
for both of them.
Holy hell!
Twice! Wow!
Yikes! and then roll fire 2, and then roll 2d10s. You need a 1 to actually set them on fire. So
Darn.
close. So 24, 30 damage. Ooh, that you did a lot of damage to the sails. And then let's see here. One. This is non-fire, non-fire, with fire, with fire. So that's 3 hits. 1, 2, 3.
2 of them are with fire.
2 of them are with fire. And then none of them catch on fire, but let me do the math here. This is gonna. You guys may have actually crippled the sails there. Let's see. The sails on the ship behind you appear to be crippled, and the ship kind of basically starts losing momentum and drifting off to the side. They are still firing, though. Let me check something here. 1, 2, 3. They do get some back. That's not going to be much. Whoops, that's not right. They managed to get very minimal sails re-rigged, but the ship is moving very slowly. Alright, let's see here. I'm in 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 4. Ooh, they hit a lot. So 4 hits in the sails and 3 hits in the hull. Maybe sail.
I will say, Brian, one thing I did notice when Marcus rolled max damage before, you let their said their
true.
sails would catch fire on a D2, and you rolled a 2.
That's true. Was it on the same roll that would have corresponded to the? Well, it was the max fire damage, not max damage on the piercing roll.
Okay, never
It
mind.
was the max fire damage.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a lot of damage.
That is a lot of damage. All right, so that would be sails, hull.
Does the 15, since it meets the threshold, do damage or no? Does it have
so
to
only
exceed
the
15?
hull, only the hull has damage threshold. The sails
okay.
do not.
Okay.
So as the ship starts to pull away, a flurry of ballista bolts and rocks from the mangonel crash down, and both ships are now crippled, kind of sitting at like 500 feet away from each other,
Stalemate.
floating dead in the water, while everybody is scrambling to repair the sails.
Am I able to specifically aim for the person who's steering the ship?
You are absolutely. You can shoot at the person who's trying to steer the ship. Yes, absolutely.
Because their sails are crippled right now. That's probably what I'd be shooting at now.
All right, make a couple pot shots.
I don't know how many you wanted.
Oh, that's fine. I gotta check him real quick. It would be a disadvantage.
Yeah, so 18, 16, 12.
So 2 of them hit.
Goddamn, Marcus, you're rolling huge damage.
The person steering the ship gets hit by 2 arrows and staggers backwards. You can see a bunch of crew rushing to him, and as you've seemed to grievously wounded their captain, and their sails are in shambles, as are yours, but they seem to have lost the interest in fighting, and the ship starts to peel away. The crew of the voyage, they're running kind of below decks and bringing as much spare rigging and canvas as they can and patching holes, and eventually they kind of jury rig it as much as they can, and the Devil's Fin limps to the south east, or south, yes, southeast, and the voyage resumes its path to the west.
Balazar will go to the captain and say, "I am thanking you for your cooperation," and give her a bow.
Captain says, "Well, I appreciate all of your help." Captain Callus is known for being very dangerous and cutthroat, so that was not an interaction I was really looking forward to having.
After I hit that person, I'm gonna stand there looking shocked for a couple rounds that I actually hit them.
Oh my god. Did you guys see that shot?
No.
So the crew spends many, many hours doing the best they can to get the ship back in tip-top shape. Clearly, they will not be able to do all of the repairs on the water, and the pace of the voyage has slowed somewhat with the damaged rigging. Side note, in our first ship-to-ship encounter, based on the rules I came up with, I think the sails are a little too vulnerable, so we'll probably be revisiting that for whatever.
I like how you rolled with the fire. I kind of sprung that on you.
It was a clever idea.
Yeah.
I didn't think if we were in dry weather, I think it would be much more likely to work. But in like semi-Arctic, wet, super cold,
Yeah.
I think low probability of success, but not impossible.
And if their sails had caught fire, that would have been huge.
If anything, you probably give sails like maybe resistance to piercing, since if something's pierced, you go right through to leave a small hole. So like something slashing.
I thought that too, actually, and I think that we might do that. It'll make that they'll be resistant to piercing damage, and probably even bludgeoning damage too.
Well, bludgeoning, it's gonna punch a hole in it.
That's
like
true.
You shoot a cannonball through a sail, but really,
Maybe have a threshold for bludgeoning.
That's what I was thinking. Maybe just add a threshold to it, and maybe a higher threshold for bludgeoning and piercing.
And if you ever incorporate cannons, you could have chain shot.
Yep, that is. Cannons are around, and there is chain shot and grape shot and solid shot.
And chain shot, you want to use that to shoot at their mast, take their mast down.
Definitely some things to do there, but sails are a little too vulnerable, so we're going to be buffing those a little bit.
My one criticism of it is I wish there was more for us to do rather than...
I agree, and that's a totally valid criticism. Definitely a little bit of a trial and error.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I don't want to sit here and just roll dice.
Yeah, it's a lot of you rolling and not a lot of us rolling.
So next time we'll... But the flip side of that is as you guys get higher in level, too, you'll just have more things that you can do in those kind of environments as well. But yes, I agree. Totally valid. So the ship continues to limp to the west.
I would go up and ask the captain how long will it be till we reach our destination now? Or how much longer?
She speculates it'll take 5 days to reach. All right. Ship continues to sail to the west. A couple days go by. 2 more days, specifically. Is there anything you guys want to do while you're on the ship? I don't want to bypass anybody.
Baldrum's just mad at the crew, so he's just silently avoiding them. But he would probably thank Balazar and Maximilian for their help and for being, as he would put it, less useless. But that's not an insult at them. It's an insult at the crew. It's like, thanks. It'd be like, I thank you for being less useless. The rest of this crew.
Balazar is going to make an insight check to see if he understands that he's insulting the crew.
Oh no. It's
I'm
like,
going
hey,
to as
fuck
well.
you.
He's got it pretty well figured out. It is making sense to fight for survival, yes.
Yeah.
On this day, yesterday, you probably would have noticed Maximilian starting to, click his tongue to the roof of his mouth, making that clicking noise, and then looking a little nervous, and then a little more on the next day. Just kind of constantly doing it, almost.
What ails your friend?
Oh,
It
nothing.
is.
Oh, he's talking to you.
It is. Not something I am speaking about. It is for him to speak. If he wishes.
He speaks a lot.
He does.
I don't think Baldrum would confront him about it. I think you would just judge him silently from a distance.
Other than that, Balazar would probably, for the trip, if anyone took him up or saw him playing dragon chess and wanted to play against them, he would play dragon chess with them. And he would do his morning ritual and he would read. And that's pretty much what he would do.
Do we see his morning ritual? Like, what's up with that?
He doesn't try to hide it. So if you were up in the morning early, you would see him do it.
Maximilian would go up and play some dragon chess with you.
Balazar would be gentle on Max in dragon chess. Balazar's pretty good at it.
Oh, I figured Maximilian would probably lose.
Were you wanting to inspect or ask Balazar about his ritual, Thomas?
I'd probably just stare at him from a distance, trying to figure out what his deal is.
You could probably make a religion check for it.
Brian?
Yeah, you can make a religion check for it. You've no
Hell
idea.
yeah.
You have no idea.
I'm a paladin that's not proficient in religion, by the way.
Chandri would be interested in learning how to play dragon chess, but she does not know how to play.
Balazar would happily teach her.
I would be trying to explain it too, and Balazar would probably try to stop me so that he could explain it properly.
Well, if Max said something wrong, Balazar would say, "He is being incorrect. It works this way."
A couple other things do go on the ship while you guys are moving along. One is Storr wants to challenge anybody and everybody he can find to an arm wrestling contest. He's kind of bored, and he is interested in having arm wrestling contests with the crew. And as best as you can tell, he's just riggedy rolling all of the kind of generico crew members.
I wish I had Baby's hand.
I will say it's not my kind of thing and politely decline. Best I can.
The other thing is Cora each night is putting together card games, gambling down below for the crew that many, obviously not everyone, but many are participating in.
Balazar will watch and try to learn the game through observation, but has no interest in playing.
Baldrum will play.
All right. Anybody else gonna play? The game is Luskin Hold'em.
I don't think Maximilian would play.
Leah would not.
Or
All right, we'll do 2 rounds to represent the times you're there.
Sure.
So there are 4 crewmen. Cora and Baldrum at the table. Buy-in, because these guys are all sailors, basically. They don't want to throw in everything. So buy-in is 5 silver.
Sure.
And let me get the up here. Go. And where's Cora? There he is. So everybody gets their initial hand. You need to roll a d8. You have a very poor hand to open with. You can raise, basically everybody can throw in 5 silver pieces to stay in or fold.
I fold.
Can I change his head? I'd probably play the first night.
Sure, go ahead and roll a d8 then.
I will also fold.
You are both being very bad at this.
Actually, only 1 crewman and Cora stays in after that. Everybody else folds. You guys need to subtract 5 silver pieces. And then they both roll a d6. And we lather, rinse, repeat. After the second set of cards, Cora angrily folds, and crewman number 1 happily takes his winnings. And we'll start over with the next game. Everybody throw in who is participating, 5 silver pieces. And then roll a d8.
I think it's just me.
Okay. Oh, so there I've got to throw. So one of the crewmen folds, but actually everybody else stays in, and I assume Baldrum does as well, right?
Yeah.
So there are 1, 2, 3 crewmen, Cora, and you.
And that's another 5 silver.
And that's another 5 silver to stay in. And it's a d6 on the second one. Going to stay or fold?
I'll stay. Let's be wild, man.
Everybody stays in this one too.
Oh, fuck.
So there's 4 others and you, and then we roll a d4. Oops. So you can pay another 5 silver or fold.
Pay another 5.
All right, and then you basically add them all up, and we see who's got the highest here. What you got?
9, 13.
13 is actually a 3-way tie for the win.
Split pot.
Yeah, that's going to be a split pot. Exactly right. Hold on, let me do the math here. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's 30 silver pieces. 1 man bailed. So 25 silver pieces. 25 silver pieces. That was a pretty hefty pot, actually.
With everybody staying in, yeah.
For ease of sake, so you threw in 15 silver and you got back 26 as a third of the pot.
Nice.
Not too bad. And you lost 5 on the first one, so you should be up a little bit.
Up 11.
Yeah, that's not bad for a couple nights of gambling of Lux and Hold'em.
Up 11. I think I'm up 6.
Oh, you should be up 11.
Well, because you got 26 Well, I'll let you do your own thing. I'm sure you got it.
Because I did 5 the first time, I didn't get anything, and then 15 the second time.
Right, and then you got 26.
So I'm up 6.
You plus 11. Yeah, that's right. You plus 6. You're right.
Okay.
How many days have gone by?
That would have been. Hold on. We left 1 night, 2 nights, 3 nights. Well, I said 3 nights. So
Sorry, from the time we were chip battling.
in that case, 1. This is the second night.
Okay.
Second night passed.
Just keeping track of downtime hours on the side.
Sure. Alright.
When we're not doing anything like this, essentially 20 hours, because I only sleep 4 hours.
So on the third day at sea, about midday, the weather has let up just a little bit. As you guys are on deck enjoying the slightly warmer weather, clear days, slightly calmer waters, voyage continuing its journey toward Gundbarg. The water is very clear this part of the world, and oops, hold on a minute. I gotta look at something real quick. Sorry. Make sure I do this right.
And a dragon turtle appears.
Yes.
Oh god!
That is exactly what happens.
Do you know this guy about us?
Baphomet, the demon prince, falls from the sky.
Do you know this guy Baldrum?
Well, Jay, you said you wanted something to do.
Yeah,
That's right. That'll teach you.
Demon Prince Baphomet, we meet again.
Are you two brothers or something?
Where is it?
Cousins, twice removed.
I thought you were pretty ugly for a demon.
He gave me an aircorn popper for Christmas. It was the most terrible gift I've ever received.
I actually got one of those.
We
last
were
Christmas.
eating jelly beans, but half of them were bad flavored, and he didn't tell me.
The Harry Potter anything flavored jelly beans.
I ate a troll dung flavored jelly bean, and I've hated him ever since.
About midday, the brightest part of the day, on the third day, a gargantuan shadow swims underneath the voyage and then seems to disappear.
I would like to see if I can identify it based on its shape.
Same.
That's a lot of d20s, good lord.
I'm just managing my downtime stuff on the side.
Got 118 fish.
118 fish.
Can I nature check or something to see if I can tell what that thing was?
No, I don't think you would have
history?
gotten a good enough view of it to
Okay.
really know what it was. It was pretty quick, and while you're not quite sure how deep it wasn't defined enough to really be able to make out what it was.
Ukatoa.
See,
Could also be a whale.
maybe I'll point at the Belgium so he'll jump in and chase after it.
Oh, my other cousin.
That's kind of my
Dragon turtle.
impression of Belgium right now.
Get it, Belgian, get it!
Ah, Wardasil, demon of the seas. Baphomet's ex-wife. We meet again.
So on the, let's see, would it be 2 more days? The 7th day? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. The morning of the 7th day of travel. Did I bring you guys here? Oh shit, I didn't. Oh no, I didn't. Okay, good. As you're just seeing the island of Gunderloon on the horizon, a rocky outcropping just at the edge of your vision. Max and Leah, as you're looking out to sea, you spot a very small boat on the horizon. It's obscured by kind of the fog and the mist of the early morning. But you can see the boat is keeling dangerously to one side. And inside of it is a large bundle approximately the size of a humanoid.
Is it port or starboard?
Front side to the starboard. So that would be bow, starboard bow. Off the starboard bow.
All right.
I would just
Starboard is right, just in case you guys needed to know.
like there's something to the left of the ship over there. No, I would probably just
Max, that is being right, not left.
yeah, right. I'm right that it's left side, right?
Hey.
I would say say this that I see something out there. I think. Try to point out to is the captain steering the ship right now?
Find out.
I'll probably check and see.
He is not. Half the time she is, the other half the time she is not. Right now.
Is it the first mate that's steering?
Yeah,
them?
would it just be one of the officers? Yeah.
Okay.
It's basically her and one other
Quartermaster.
guy. Yeah.
I would go up to them and tell them, not very loudly. That way Baldrum doesn't hear. Yeah, I just point it out to them and say, I think I see a human shape inside of that. Looks like it's peeling over a bit. Do we need to check it out?
He kind of angles the ship to move in that direction. And there we go. All right. Oops, sorry, Roll20's being weird. Let me restart it real quick.
It does that sometimes.
As the why Roll20? Why? As the ship, let's see, would be. As the ship gets closer, let's see, it would be only Max. You hear a scraping sound from the bottom of the hull, and as you turn behind you, you see one of the crew members scream, and there's two humanoid fish-like creatures that appear to have climbed up the side of the ship. We're going to roll initiative. Only Marcus will have a first round. Give me a moment here to set this up.
That's no bueno. I don't have mage armor prepared, or I have it prepared. I don't have a chance to cast it.
So weird. I gotta look at these macros. And let's see here. Sorry, my DMing is rusty. It feels rusty, honestly. Like this should be going faster.
It's been a while, man.
It has been a hot
Yeah,
minute, right?
You're doing great.
I think I'm doing fine. It's just it feels slow. I want to get it to move faster so there's less downtime.
Okay, Leodell likes downtime.
I think Jay likes downtime, and
I think Jay likes downtime.
it's
Well,
a
you know,
byproduct that his characters like downtime.
It's important that you put a little of yourself into your character.
Absolutely.
I mean, why do you think Thomas's character is such a dick?
Knew that was coming.
The
I had
question was
nothing to
just, who
resist.
is it coming from?
Okay, there we go. That's right. Oh, and I gotta get you guys over here. One, 2, 3, 4.
I don't imagine a caravel has a castle on it, does it?
Does not.
Yeah.
And was the scraping on the bottom of the ship, was that before or after these guys started getting?
Basically, you heard them climbing up the side of the ship, and nobody else did.
Okay.
Yeah. You go. Ah, this Roll20 is being so weird. Sorry.
You're fine.
Okay.
There we go. I was like, reveal this area, and it's like, no.
I ref Jews. You said this is a level 12 campaign-ish?
It really
Ish.
depends on how far you guys side quest.
Okay.
Get you guys on here. Go. Go. Now this should be about right. Alright. Now let's get you guys over here. We'll say the thing about ships is, boy, it makes the combat area small.
Yeah.
Depends on how big your ship is.
Also true. This is a smaller ship. Yeah, have everyone roll initiative.
Oh!
Everybody roll. Alright, let's see. Balthazar did not have high enough passive perception to see this coming, so he does not get that.
Balazar.
God damn it, I'm gonna keep doing it.
I'm going to keep correcting you.
Serves you right. Maximilian.
I will pull out my longbow, and I will fire at that one.
Okay. A 25 will most definitely hit. Marcus rolls today. Good lord.
And then I'm gonna use favored foe. Do I get that damage from favored foe on the
You do.
turn to apply? Okay. So 12. I will then kind of scurry over here. And how tall is the crow's nest? You said 24 feet?
24 feet, yep.
Okay.
So the front one would be a little lower, let's say 20 feet, but the main one would be 25.
Okay. I move 10 feet, then I will climb up the rest of the way and go up to... I'll actually go all the way up to the top one.
Okay, make it. Do you have a climbing speed or no?
I do.
Oh, great. What's the total damage on your bow shot?
12.
He seems hurt. I'm annoyed that my macros aren't working really. Fallen store song.
They're attacking on the non-starboard side.
Port.
They just run and attack the nearest nearest guy. This is on the crewman. This is on Leah.
Both of those hit.
Uh-oh.
Five damage.
Alright.
And Balazar.
You skipped Leah's turn.
She didn't have a high enough passive perception.
I
to
thought
see
she
them
did.
coming. Nope, hers is 15. She saw the thing over there, but didn't have 16 to see them coming.
Okay.
So she saw the boat, but did not see these guys coming. Balazar, Max, and Baldrum. You would all see additional Sagwin now climbing up the side of the ship.
Which one did Max shoot?
This one.
Okay.
It's attacking Leah.
The one that is closest to me, I am going to cast Witch Bolt on.
Okay.
Does a 12 hit?
Yes, actually.
Wonderful.
This
So,
one here.
yeah, the closest one to me.
Okay.
One lightning damage,
One
baby.
big lightning damage.
And I'm going to move back to here. Let me see. How far away does that put me from him? Yeah, I'll move back to there.
Alright.
Probably not even
Uh,
enough damage to tell if it's vulnerable to it or not.
If it's vulnerable to lightning, it would technically do 2 damage, but
The crewmen all attack, or the three of them anyway. They actually do fairly well. And I'm just gonna hang out back here. Max. The four that are in the water are the ones climbing up the sides of the ship, by the way.
right.
Let's see. I guess I will shoot down at this one right here.
All right. Yep.
Self-error foe, so 11.
The creature collapses to the ground in a bloody mess in front of Leah.
I will then yell, "There's more coming up the side of the ship!"
Baldrum.
I will move over here, and I am able to see the Sohagan down here.
On the side of the ship? Yes,
Yeah.
you can see it climbing up.
I'm gonna. Is he in melee range, or do I need to throw a javelin at him?
Not yet, but he's climbing. You could just hold an action and attack.
Sure,
him
I'll hold an
again.
action to attack him.
All right.
And I'm not using my shield currently. I'm two-handing,
All
just for
right.
the record.
Store runs up and says, "Finally, I was so bored." And he does pretty decent damage to that guy there. Is Sagwin arrive? He may attack Baldrum. Seven will not hit.
That's all I got.
Alright, 1 second. Alright. Leah.
Pull out a dagger. I'll try and stab at this one next to me here.
Stabby stabby. 12 hits, big damage. He didn't like that at
Everybody's
all.
rolling max damage but me.
Hey, fuck you, buddy. I didn't even hit.
Actually, you know what? Yeah, I'll mark that as my favorite foe.
Alright, go
And
nuts.
that does an additional 2 damage.
Balazar.
I will use my action to repeat the damage on Witch Bolt.
To repeat it?
Yes.
Yeah, you can
once,
just repeat the damage on it instead
once
of
you
casting it again.
cast. Once
So
you
there's
cast
one
it,
more damage?
no, it does the damage again.
Oh, so you re-roll it. Right,
I re-roll the damage, but I don't have to cast a spell.
Gotcha.
I don't have to shoot.
Tether to them.
As long as I stay within 30 feet of him. 6 damage.
That's better. And he had 6 health.
Cool. Balazar is also just gonna shuffle behind this guy. And then that's it for him.
This crewman in the back starts ringing a bell. These 2 guys will attack the one next to you. 1 hit. Big 2 damage. And then 1 more in the back. And he misses. Max.
I will shoot at this one next to Baldrum.
Alright. Hit.
Then.
You didn't like that.
I will then get off from up there and come down. That's it.
What's really awesome about Witch Bolt is if you crit with it, all your repeated damage is then also crits, because you only roll 1 attack roll with it.
Makes sense. Baldrum?
A stab.
Nope.
Fuck.
Boy, Baldrum's talked a big game up to this point, but so far,
Not working out.
not working out.
Whew.
He almost drops that one in 1 hit,
Cringe, that you?
right? Asagwin will fight back. Store doesn't seem to notice much.
What level is Store? 5?
This
Nah,
is
he
on
wouldn't
the
be 5.
crewman.
He'd have 2 attacks.
Miss, I believe. Yes. And then this one will attack the crewman at the bottom. And he would hit once. And this is on Baldrum.
16 will hit without my shield.
What about the 23? Yeah.
Yep.
8 and 3.
You down?
Nope.
That's good.
Leah.
Take another stab at this one above me.
He's very grievously wounded.
Really, I've hit that one twice now and it's still not dead?
No, you hit this one in front of you that was dropped by someone else.
Why would I have hit that one if it was already killed?
No, somebody else killed
Yeah.
it between now and then.
No, isn't that the one Marcus killed?
You
Yeah.
hit it, and then Marcus
Yeah,
killed
no,
it.
I've
Hit it
hit,
and
this
Marcus
one,
killed
I've
it.
hit this one twice now. Because this one ran up the side. I hit it last turn for...
No, you hit this
Yeah.
one last turn, and then Marcus killed it. And this
Well, I
one
thought
just arrived.
Marcus shot this one twice and killed it, and then because he had a first round, and then Jay stabbed this one.
Last round I
Twice.
shot the one next to Baldrum.
Ah, that's right. There you go.
Yeah, this one jumped up here and arrived last turn, and it was the only one that was alive in range. I'm definitely sure that I hit that one last turn.
Jay did, because
Alright.
I had killed this one 2 turns ago.
Don't
Then it
make
would be
me
good.
consult the recording later and tell you that you're wrong.
Is that it for you?
Yes.
Balazar?
Yeah, I'm gonna witch bolt this guy now. We'll see if I hit.
Yep.
22
Yep.
for 4 damage.
Not terrible.
It's a D12. It could be a lot better than that.
Also true. Hit, miss, hit. So let's see. Oh, he almost finishes off that one. That's too bad. Max.
Would it be an action to run up and try and grab this one and knock him off the edge while I grab him and jump off the edge with him?
Yes. It'd be a grapple check. which is an attack.
The grapple's not very good. I will, just step over here and shoot at it.
Okay, hits. He dead. Gets impaled and the body flops into the water below.
I will. Yeah, that's it.
Baldrum.
All right. I throw a javelin at this guy.
The javelin sails over.
And is lay on hands a bonus?
No, it's an action.
Is it really?
Pretty sure.
Yeah.
It's
Then I'll take a step back.
All right. You're just so angry at everything that you can't.
Can't focus.
I can tell this character is going to go really well for me.
Good thing that the two useless people are being helpful.
He didn't call us useless. He said we're more useful than the useless people.
Miss. Leah.
Not that we actually know about them.
I'm gonna pull out my short bow and take a shot at this one.
Yep.
No, he's got to be dead. He's got to be dead.
He is indeed dead. He had 14 left.
And that's
Is that
it.
it for you? Balzar.
I will require a DC 13 intelligence save from the last one.
He passes.
Nothing happens.
All right. They swarm the last one and try to hack him to bits. And they fail. Max. He will have cover because he's surrounded by a bunch of people, but you can still shoot at him.
Yeah, I'll still shoot at him.
That'd be disadvantaged.
9.
Baldrum.
I shoot Story in the back of the head.
I know, right? Take out a poor crewman.
I go get my javelin.
No, it's in the water. You missed so bad. That
Fuck! I lay on hands myself for 5 hit points.
There we go. He had 1 health left, for crying out loud.
Unfortunately, if people pass cantrip saves, they don't take even half damage.
They do not. As she arrives on deck from below, as you guys are mopping up, Cora conveniently being late as well. Captain Graysail says that's very unusual. Usually the creatures of the sea, they don't attack the larger ships. They stay on the small ones. The frontal assault is highly unusual.
Perhaps they are being desperate.
Perhaps.
Do I get to recover any arrows?
You can recover half as many arrows as you fired.
Okay. Do you know of any reason why they might be doing this to us? Or being like this,
I'm not sure. They're always a problem here in the and have been and this is Store who we spoke of. They've been a problem for my people for a long time, but usually not a major one, and usually they kind of stick to vulnerable, isolated people. I've never heard of them launching a frontal attack on a large ship before.
Normally they'd only do that if they were desperate. Desperate because something happened to where their normal means won't allow them to do what they need to.
Well, what now?
Shall we look around and see what might be causing this, or do we just go on ahead?
Well, there's still the boat over here that you saw off in the distance.
How far away is it?
As far away as it is right now is accurate.
I guess I'll go check it out. I'm gonna walk over, hand my bow and arrow to Balazar, and then I'm gonna jump over and start swimming towards it. Unless, actually, I'd probably get a little dinghy thing that they have.
Yeah, she'll drop a rowboat and have a couple crew.
I keep my bow. Yeah, I go over in that.
Anybody going with Max?
Baldrum goes with him, but very just like, this is not going well for me.
I've noticed.
Get rid of these bodies here. Unclutter up the place.
And Maximilian said that a little more blunt than he meant to. You kind of tell that on his face.
Baldrum appreciates that.
I would be making sure to keep an eye on the water below us, making sure that nothing's gonna try and come up and...
Make a perception check.
21.
In the water, you see two small sharks, but still good-sized sharks, kind of swimming in a circle around the boat you're rowing towards.
Baldrum. Looks like there's
You
some
al-
sharks in the water.
You also see 4 Sagwins swimming directly towards your boat.
Looks like
Up.
we might also be having some company here soon.
Can I make a perception to see if I can see them? The Sogwin?
Sure. Nope, you don't see him. Ship's not quite that maneuverable in like close areas, so just kind of scooch it over.
Okay.
I don't see them either.
You do not know.
I'd look back and yell, "Aye, looks like we got some more company over here."
There you go. So now
Go
you know
for 'em.
something's up, even though you don't know what. I'm gonna have you guys roll initiative here.
Whew, I'm rolling really good initiative.
Yeah.
Second here. Go. Go. And lastly. You know what? I'm actually just gonna have her go with a crew for the sake of ease. Alright, let's see. Leah.
Alright, so can I see all of them? The shark and these little...
Well,
What-
you actually can't see any of them, but you're aware that something's happening because Maximilian has alerted you as such.
So this is some kind of foggy area.
No, it is. What do you see it as actually? Because on my screen it's not loading properly. It looks just white.
Yeah, it looks white.
It's not. It's just water. I don't know why it's doing that.
Okay, so
They're underwater.
they're
It's literally
I
just
see water.
it's just water, but they are below the surface of the water. Is why you can't see them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what I'd like to do is I'd like to but did I hear that there were sharks?
Well, Max said bad guys coming. He didn't specify, so you know something is coming up here.
Okay, well
I'm
then
not
I'm
sure
just
what.
gonna hold a short bow attack for if I see any enemies.
All right, Balazar.
I'm doing the same with Mind Sliver.
All right, Max.
Would I know if I'd be able to shoot my bow at them?
Yes, they're not very far under the water, so they're
Okay.
definitely within short range of the bow, and it's a piercing weapon. You could fire into the water.
I will shoot at this one.
All right. Yep.
And I will apply my favorite foe to it. For 6.
Oof.
Lowest damage I could roll. And that's
Oh,
it.
I'm sorry. Is it Baldrum?
I'm gonna throw a javelin at this guy. Was it on my javelins here, guys?
Huzzah!
Does that hit?
That does hit.
Hey!
Well, now that one's stuck in that beast, so if you can get to it, you can recover it.
Let's go!
You should start tying ropes to your javelin.
Make them harpoons. Is that it for you, Baldrum?
Yeah.
Okay. These guys are about 10 feet under the surface of the water.
Do I see them now? As they're swimming up?
Yeah, we'll say you see them down there. You can see them. Find,
18 to hit.
oh, yeah, you can shoot it to sharks. I didn't think about that. 18 will hit.
Okay.
Which one? The top one or the bottom one?
The bottom one. This one.
Alright.
So, yeah, I'll go ahead and mark the sharks as my favorite foe. What?
You didn't like that at all. The crewmen, they start running over to the ballista and they start loading the ballista. These guys swim right up to the boat, break the surface, and they each try to drag you guys into the water.
As soon as I see, since this one was first, when I see it break the surface, Mind Sliver's going to go off on it. It needs to make an intelligence save.
Alright.
I don't think, damn it. I don't think
right.
Balazar would have thought of the sharks as enemies to this point. Just they are wildlife and have not been shown to be openly hostile yet.
That is
So
true.
he would have waited for something that's hostile, which these guys clearly are.
So I need Baldrum and Maximilian each to make athletics check. Actually, 2 athletics check. Or no, we'll do 1 at disadvantage. No, they would have theirs at advantage. So each of you guys make 1 athletics check.
Well, they could also use acrobatics if it's a grapple.
Alright. Doesn't make that much of a difference. And Maximilian too, please. This is
It's just athletics, or can I use acrobatics?
let's check.
You
Actually,
can
no.
use acrobatics for a grapple to dodge it.
A strength athletics or dexterity acrobatics check contested, yes. So the attacker has to use athletics, but the
Yes.
defender can use acrobatics.
Correct.
Yep. So this is on Baldrum, and it is an advantage because there's 2 of them. So they do not pull you into the water, and this is on Maximilian, same thing. And they do not pull you into the water.
Beautiful.
Excellent. Store.
What's Store doing?
Store, in a fit of frustration that he can't seem to find anything to do, picks some random repair thing off it and just hucks it at the nearest one.
Improvised weapon.
He just grabs a ballista bolt and throws
And
it
he
like a
hits.
javelin.
So it does 4 points of bludgeoning damage on this guy. He just smacked him with like a hammer or something. Leah.
Would I be able to take some rope from off the from the deck and tie it to one of my arrows to kind of try to attach it to an arrow?
Sure. Take a round to do
Maybe
it, but
like
you
a-
can do it.
I couldn't maybe like do it as a bonus action.
I think 6 seconds. Finding the rope, pulling out an arrow, tying it a knot. I think that's more like an action.
Okay, I'll just shoot then. I feel like it's gonna take too long. But I'll actually shoot. I'm actually going to shoot one of these guys. This bottom left one.
Yep, you kind of see them wrestling with your companions on the boat.
25
25 hits.
for 7 damage,
All right.
and that's it.
Balazar.
The one that he just shot, make an int save.
These are some damn
God
smart
damn it.
Sagawan arrival.
That's it for me.
Max.
I will.
That's what I get for
Attack.
taking a cantrip that isn't an attack spell.
I'll
I
attack
mean, they
that
really
one
should be
again.
failing him. All right.
I'm gonna do it with my dagger instead.
12 hits.
We built the same character.
Man,
All right. That'll do it for him.
lowest damage.
He
Getting
was-
the repercussions from all the max
He
damage.
was pretty close already. Baldrum.
Are any of them close enough that I can stab them now?
Oh, yeah. Any of the
Grabbing me.
three around you.
Yeah, I'll stab the
any of
top one.
them. Yep. Nice.
That's it for me. Level 1 things. Do one thing and then you're done.
Yep.
They each aim a ballista and they fire it at the Sogwin. This is not their intended purpose, so it will be a disadvantage. Bottom one is at the one on the bottom. And it
They-
misses.
Oh, if it were a crit. Oh, that would have been
would've
so
exploded
good.
him. And then the top one does hit. And this one just gets absolutely impaled and slumps to the water with a massive bolt sticking out of it. They each, the two that are left, one tries to drag. Actually, they both try to drag Max. That's how that'll work. So make a.
Uh-oh. Oh, it's fine. It's
There you
fine.
go. No problem. Store finds a crowbar. And he cracks one with it. for damage. Leah.
Fucking cowards!
Come where I can reach you.
I see the shark swimming away, so I'm gonna take a short bow attack at it. Let's see. 18,
Mm-hmm.
and that one did have my favorite bow marked. 8 damage.
Seems very, very wounded.
All right, that's it for
Balazar.
me.
The top one, making it save. He meets the DC.
Max.
I will attack this bottom one with my dagger. For 6.
Wouldn't you get your favorite
Aldrin.
bow still?
It was on this other guy.
I thought it was you marked the type of creature.
I think it's you mark the type of creature.
That
just says- When you hit a creature with an attack roll, you can use your Mystic Bond with Nature to mark the target as your favorite enemy for 1 minute, or use your concentration.
Yeah, so you're
Oh, just-
concentrating on 1 minute on that favorite enemy. I thought it was the enemy.
First time
type.
on each of your turns that you hit the favorite enemy and deal damage to it, including when you mark it, increase that damage by 1 before.
We'll check it after. I think it is type though. We'll go ahead and play it for type. So go and add it.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it is.
I mean, that's the whole idea, is that it's
9. Well,
replacing
3 more.
favorite
Got it.
enemy.
Yeah.
Baldrum.
English language, you could read it both ways.
Sure.
I stab this one.
Oh, Baldrum's finding his
Oh.
footing.
Really low damage.
By the way, if you guys are interested, one of the alternate crit rules that a lot of people are doing is when you roll a crit, rather than rolling 2, the first roll is max and you just roll 1 extra to keep it from getting totally lame crit rolls.
What do you mean?
So like your roll is a D8, so the first
Uh-huh.
roll is an 8, It's max damage on one for the original dice, and then you roll a d8. For the
That seems like too much work to change.
Well, the
Problem is, roll
flip-
20. Roll 20 automatically does it this way, so I'm fine
So
with this way.
what you would do is you just ignore the one. You consider the 6 the max,
And you just
only
roll
have
an
the
extra
second.
die.
Yeah, you just roll the second. You just take the second. So this
The-
damage
the-
instead of being 7 would be 8 plus 1 plus 3.
The flip side is I'm a squishy wizard, and if an enemy does that to me, I die.
That is true. So I'm cool with this a little bit. Either way, is that it for Baldrum?
Yeah.
This shark sprints straight down into the water.
Nope, fuck that. I'm
This
out.
one continues to swim in circles. They reload the ballistas. They continue to try to drag Max under the water.
That's
but
pretty
it's
good.
fine.
Nope.
Yeah,
He's
you're
just-
good.
He's a slippery bugger.
I have a question. Are we all playing in dark mode?
I am.
I'm just curious if anyone's not.
I am
I
not.
am not. I am
It
not.
seems they have fixed it.
Fix what? What was wrong with it?
I was having issues with some of the text being unreadable because it
Yeah.
was so dark.
Ah. all
They
right.
seem to
He smacks him with the hammer again.
have.
Leah.
So that shark is out of.
He's gone. Yeah, he basically swam 40 feet straight down.
Okay.
Actually, he would dash. It'd be 80 feet straight down.
Okay, so he's off.
He is gone. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go ahead and take a shot at this one. $14?
Yep.
12.
All right. Balazar.
Making it save, the top one. Sorry. I had my mic flipped up.
Nope.
All right.
Wow.
Max. I mean, on the plus side, you'd rather them keep rolling really low on those strength saves to drag Max into the water, though. Who knew that these were actually physically frail but highly intelligent Sagwin?
Right.
I'm gonna continue attacking the bottom one here.
Negatory.
Ah, first miss.
Baldrum.
I'm attacking the same one.
Yup. Down he goes. They each fire a ballista. Miss. Hit. Fun. Get there. He is very, very hurt,
But not dead.
but not dead. Well, you guys hadn't hit him yet. This guy, I think, sensing all was lost, dives into the water and swims straight down. So combat would be over unless anybody's going to jump into the water and chase after these two.
I still want to try to
I
kill the
am.
shark.
Well, you would have one more shot before his turn, so fire away, because he's going to flee as well.
Okay.
Yep.
8.
I will. I'm sorry.
He still lives.
I'm gonna jump in the water and try and go after this one.
Do you have a swim speed?
I do not.
You will
You're
not, be
not
able
gonna
you-
catch him.
You are not going to catch him.
I'm still gonna go swim down for a couple rounds. Wonder if he comes
Alright.
back after me or not.
Would he have gotten an attack of opportunity as the guy left his melee range trying
You
to...
He
would
would've.
actually. Yeah, both of you guys would have actually.
Unless he disengaged.
He did not. He just dove in the water to get the hell out of there.
I missed.
Baldrum, you can take one as well. Hit. It doesn't kill him, but when you get about 60 feet down there or so, they both turn back toward you.
Okay.
I think I would have jumped in the water if I had seen him dive down.
So 60 feet would be probably like 2 rounds. Actually, make an athletics check for the 2 rounds to swim. Good. Second one. One more. One for each round. Nope. So you're 30 feet down, struggling now. The water is very, very cold. You hear Captain Graysail. What in the hell is that moron doing?
His stupid being.
Since you didn't get 60 feet down, they just continue to swim straight down.
I would go a little bit farther.
Make an athletics check. All right. You get 60 feet down, and they keep swimming away. So they're further and further down. Basically, each round they go 80 feet deeper.
Okay. And I can only go 35 with ball dashing.
Yep.
Then I would come back up and climb onto the boat.
And you're freezing.
Yeah, you might have to make con saves for hypothermia.
You are friggin' cold.
Do I need to make any athletic checks to swim back up?
Yes, you would actually to get back up. One more. One more. One more. Oh my god, there we go. Okay. I'm gonna make a Constitution saving throw as well. Okay, you have 1 point of exhaustion from hypothermia.
Okay. We will continue to go to the boat.
You, or probably not you, because you're exhausted, but Baldrum rows the boat towards the small vessel over here. Inside is what appears to be a mid-teenage boy tied up, hands and feet, floating in a barely seaworthy boat. He's clearly freezing his butt off. Also inside is a wooden chest covered in barnacles and seaweed. And that's it.
It's a mimic. Not the chest, the boat.
No, the child is a mimic.
The child is a mimic.
Child is a mimic.
They're both a mimic.
They're all, it's a boat, a chest,
boat
and a
mimic,
child mimic.
a chest mimic, and a child mimic.
The
Walk
ultimate
into a
first
tavern.
level jack.
Alright, lad, need some help?
He appears to be unconscious.
Well, Baldrum, we should probably get him back to the ship, shouldn't we? For sure.
Yeah. You're right. If I had any healing left, I'd give it to him, but too bad.
He has the aura. Why wasn't the aura working on anything else, you sons of bitches? You know what I think it is? I think it's I put the tokens on there before I put the macro.
Might be it.
Because I realized I didn't have the macros until late last night, so.
None of us players have auras either.
Yeah, that's bizarro. You guys all should have that. We'll have to figure that out for next time. Anyway. So you...
I guess
drag
we
him
probably, yeah.
Yeah, you can drag him onto the boat with you easily enough.
Or just tie her up around the other boat.
Yeah, row him back. Though I mean, the boat that he's on is like it's barely a boat. It's basically just a floating piece of junk.
Him and the chest.
You grab the chest, grab the kid, row back to the voyage, or they help you on board and they give you some hot tea and wrap you in a bunch of furs and jackets, and Captain Graysail calls you an idiot, and they do the same with Burn, try to keep him warm. So what the hell is her name? I always forget her name. Good lord, why can't I find? There we go. Chandri cast Cure Wounds on him and on Baldrum as well. So Kid gets that many back, and Baldrum gets 8 back.
It's probably
also,
close to full health.
yep, she also does a quick service to the slain crew member who was killed when the attack first started, and they do a quick service before delivering his remains to the depths. And,
To Davy
what's in the
Jones'
chest?
locker.
the chest is locked. A rusty, kind of a rusty padlock hanging on there.
Maxwell is not going to do anything with the chest. He leaves it for the kid.
The kid does wake up. He looks terrified, absolutely, just like beside himself. He looks to be like 14, 15, 16, somewhere like there, somewhere right around there. And you kind of take him down below to recover. You get the impression it's not his, though, that chest. So they take him down below to recover his wits a little bit. But the chest is not his.
Did we try to check what's inside the chest?
I am not possessing the skill to open it.
I'm tired.
I'm tired too. And cold. A little bit wet.
That is your own doing.
Yeah, I know.
I guess I'll try to, I don't know, break the chest open.
That's
You can
what I
try
was
to break the
thinking, yeah.
chest open. Yep, absolutely.
Pop the lock.
Make
It's a
an
rusty
athletics.
padlock if you hit it with a hammer or pry bar or something.
You smash it. You going for the lock or the box? What are you trying to smash?
Yeah,
Sure.
I'm gonna. I have a I have a belaying pin in my inventory, which is like a really really big nail,
Right.
and I'm just gonna take that and try to like cut the lock, like jab it through the lock or the top of, where the lock meets the box. I'm gonna try to pry it off like a
Like
pry
the
bar.
hole, you're trying to
Yeah,
break the,
you-
the
yeah,
hole
kinda
that the
find
lock
like
goes
a-
through.
Like a hammer for
Yeah.
the tools for the ship, and you just smash that thing. The rusty lock breaks apart, and the chest is easily opened.
Say with the way you were first attacking, you might have missed the lock and hit the chest instead.
Hit his toe. Oh!
What's inside?
Inside is 1 potion of healing, a handful of break. Did I give you guys an inventory handout? I really should.
I don't think so.
Oh, time to add it. There we go. A potion of healing. So whoever wants to be secretary of this
I'll
campaign.
be secretary this time. I haven't taken a turn yet.
There you go. Potion of healing. A handful of brightly colored corals that you would imagine have some kind of value to somebody. You just have to figure out who to get them to. A scrimshawed conch shell horn worth 10 gold pieces. 24 gold pieces in various assorted coins, mostly smaller increments, so mostly silver and copper. And it also the chest also contains a ivory, or not ivory, but a white, what would look like ivory, a white stone idol of a shark. That's actually a white coral, but the fins of the shark idol have been snapped off, so they're no longer on it. And it has a number of glyphs that have been carved into the surface of the shark idol. It's about the size of like about the size of your hand.
I'll keep it.
And do we also find robes of the Archmagi in here?
There are no robes of the Archmagi here, no.
Can I check again?
You can check again. There's still no robes of the Archmagi here.
Okay, so I got the potion of healing, the conch, handful of brightly colored coral, the shark idol, and what was the last thing?
24 gold pieces and a sword and coin. So you just put 24 gold pieces.
Put that at the top.
Thomas, did you say you're grabbing the...
Yeah, I'm
Dark
keeping the
idol?
idol. And I would take the healing potion out, and
One moment.
I would toss it to Balazar and just say, "You may keep this. Thanks for your help with the arrows."
He will nod graciously and put it in his pack.
One quick moment here. Last thing probably for this evening.
Did I have the handful of brightly colored coral?
Sure,
I am
I don't
not,
see why not.
I am not objecting.
Put this to good use.
Thomas, as you grab the shark idol that has been defaced and carved upon, your mind is bombarded with the image of a muscular blue tentacle wrapping ever tighter around the idol, snapping the fins from it. The vision dissipates as it leaves your hand, and you feel incredibly lightheaded.
Baldrum will reach into his pack and pull out what to everyone else would look just like a weird bottle, but to him it's his holy symbol. And it's just like a small palm-sized bottle of salt water with a single drop of blood floating around in it. This item, something's wrong with it.
You are permitting me to look?
Hand it to him.
I will set it down on the deck of the ship. I will ritually cast Identify on it.
Do you touch it with your hands?
That's a weird question.
Yeah, I do.
I feel like you were going to before he asked that, so I feel like you have to.
Yeah, I do. Definitely.
So same thing. As soon as your hand touches it, you just feel this, an image of your mind of this blue tentacle that wraps around what was the full shark idol, and then it snaps off the fins so it looks like it does now, and then the kind of image fades from your head, leaving you very lightheaded.
This is being peculiar.
Mind if I try it? Everyone else is doing it.
After I see what it is.
And I'm casting Identify on it.
Let me read the words of Identify the spell. Do you have it? Can you post it up there for me?
Yeah.
I have to touch it anyways to cast the spell.
Mm-hmm.
This is interesting.
It might be more in the purview of legend lore. Legend lore will tell you like the history of the item and stuff like that.
Let's see. Choose one object that you touch throughout the casting of the spell. I'm actually gonna have you make a concentration check to cast through your mind being bombarded by those images. If you have to cast as you're touching it.
Okay. 13.
That's fine. It's the magic. It's my magic. Magic. I would call it a magic imbued object. And you figure that you have a pearl worth at least 100 gold pieces to cast it.
Oh,
Cast
no, I
it.
don't.
All right. Well, never. I was saying, your first
Never
level.
mind.
There's no way you have a pearl worth at least 100 gold pieces. Then, owl feather, sure though.
So in that chest, we didn't find a pearl worth 100 gold.
You did not find pearl with 100 gold pieces.
It's okay.
Can I check again?
Okay. When we level
Go
up,
on
I will cast Identify on it.
But yeah, I said when you look on it, it basically looks like the fins on the shark have been snapped off, so it's defaced, and then there's been carvings put onto the body of the shark.
Are we gonna level up at the end of this session?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
What's the
Well,
difference on when you level up?
well, if you'll let me do it because we're leveling up at the end of the session anyway, and I'm assuming there's no more combat. Balazar would take his dagger out of his belt, and with the item in his hand, he would carve the dagger across his hand, and his hand would start bleeding, but then the blood would kind of move on its own and just envelop the item. And he would take 1 hit point of damage. And I would cast Identify using my my blood to ignore required material components.
Okay, yeah, we can do that for the sake of doing this. It is a magic imbued object. Its properties include telepathically.
Oh, wait, I gotta do a thing though.
Also, I wouldn't touch it. Does anything different happen when I touch it?
Okay,
Same thing.
so wait, I think it's per 50 gold, so I need to roll another. Okay, so I take total 7 points of damage because it costs.
Per 50.
I think it's per 50 gold of thing. I have to roll a d10.
Yep.
So I could have killed myself right there.
That would have been a short character.
Well, no, I would have leveled up, and it probably would have been.
It is a magically imbued object, and it. There are no spells affecting the item that you're familiar with. The item was not created by spell. And what is it? How to use them? It doesn't require attunement, and its magical properties is that it communicates telepathically with those who touch it, basically.
Okay, but it's not dangerous.
Nothing in Identify would lead you to believe that the object is dangerous.
Okay.
Is there any loose wood on board?
I'm sure there is, sure.
I'm going to try carving some shark fins that seem like it'll fit in, and then try to put it back on there. Back on the shark.
I know how. Well, the object is made out of coral.
Oh, it's made out of coral.
Coral, yeah. I don't really know how you
Okay.
would affix it to there.
I would probably just, at first, just like take the
Crazy-
2 fins and just
Crazy glue,
push
put
it
them
up
out there.
against it.
Nothing seems to happen other than the usual thing when you touch it.
Yeah.
All right. Well.
So yeah, I would have done blood magic in front of everyone. And react to that how you see fit.
I should be like, what? Oh, no, I've never seen this.
So yeah, I think that would be the end of the session, and everybody would level up to level 2.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good
boy.
session, Brian. It was fun.
little, my rest showed a little bit.
I was having a good time.
So I moved a little bit slower than I wanted. But other than that, I'm happy with how it went. By the way, want to see a really cool landing page? Check this out.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
That was, look at, you can see Max on that small boat trying to fight off the Sogman, trying to drag him in the water.
Yeah.
Nice.
Let's see, I'm a wizard, so I don't get any new spells unless I copy them from a book.
Don't
I think
you?
wizard gets-
No, you automatically gain 2 every level up.
You automatically get 2 every level.
Okay, I didn't see that. Okay,
100%.
cool.
Yep. 100%. You automatically gain 2 at the end of every level. It's technically the cover of Ghost of Saltmarsh, but I think it's appropriate, so I commandeered it.
I got 2 new spells. Would we level up?
I got
before
5 new spells.
Or after our rest?
You would level up at the conclusion of your long rest, which will basically
Okay.
happen before anything else happens.
I got 2 cantrips and 3 first level spells.
So my exhaustion goes away too, right? Because
Did
it'd be
I-
after a rest.
Yes, your exhaustion would go away.
Level 2 is a big power spike for paladins.
I think level 2 is
yeah.
the biggest power spike in the game.
Level 3 for some classes.
But I just did the basic, the almost functionally doubling hit points or close to it is huge.
Absolutely.
All right. Gonna have to tweak the ship-to-ship combat there a little bit, but otherwise I think it's good.
By the way, you guys be hearing Max clicking his tongue more than normal, or even more than he was before.
You would also probably see Balazar talking to him in Draconic.
Yeah.
You would notice Leah trying to listen and study the Draconic language while you're doing that.
Taking notes.
Balazar would probably take note of that and then stop talking.
And then Max would start trying to talk in Giriku or Ye, the clicking language in African.
Swahili.
Yep. Not really,
That
but
seems like a good place to stop the recording. Bye, future us.
goodbye.